Jeff Jefferson on his roof.
Es la frenada fuerte. Competir. Ahí se metió a competir.
Got over in there and got on the outside. Sawyer wins.
Thanks. Drivers have strapped in their cars now. We're about ready to get going here with this Featherlite Coaches 200. And right now, let's head down trackside and get the command to get these engines fired and this race started.
NASCAR Championship car owner Richard Childress.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
And the engines have roared to life. There you see the 33 car of Kevin Harvick. Mike Duncan right behind him. He's a guy we'll be talking a lot about tonight. Mark Davis in that 92 qualified well, but he's going to have to go to the rear because of an unapproved change by NASCAR. Several drivers are going to have to do that. Mike Olson, I think, has a shot, defending champion in the East Series from a year ago.
He does, and here's a savvy veteran. You know, Mike's the kind of guy that'll just kind of hang around towards the back, and again, he's like a Mike David. He just kind of hangs around and lurks his way up towards the front before the end of the day. And I'll tell you what, one of my picks is you look for him in the top 3 before the day's over.
To win a championship, you have to be consistent. And you talked about Mike David. That's what he has been all year long. He had a good run on Friday night. He leads the points in the West Series.
Well, again, Mike knows what it takes to win championships. He's been in the series a lot. He said, hey, when I first started, I used to wreck a lot of equipment, not quite as patient as I want to be. He said, but through the years, I've gotten smarter and smarter, and I understand now what it takes to win championships. Just like Kevin Harvick said, it takes a while to learn how to race.
Well, we saw him win a race at Altamont here on HDNet, where he just was consistent and hung on and was in the right place at the right time. There you see Kevin Harvick leading the field off. Track that Rusty Wallace designed. We'll have to hear from him a little later on in our race today. And you heard Richard Childress, who's the car owner for Kevin Harvick in the Nextel Cup Series, give the command to fire engines. He's got a couple of developmental drivers in this race today, and Ryan Foster and Tim McCready.
Lots of good guns here, and again, lots of good people behind him. I also admire Richard Childress for coming here today. Again, big night at Lowe's last night, jump on an airplane here this morning, show up in Iowa. Again, our hats are off to the guys.
You know, when you have those jets at your disposal, you can get somewhere around the country in a big, big hurry.
Quicker than the old rental car.
Well, there are 42 cars that'll make up this field. 51 tried to qualify, and there's some big names like Tim Woods, Chase Austin, who's driving Rusty Wallace's car, not in this field. It's certainly disappointment because on a track like this, you really want to race. There are some cars that are going to have to go to the rear, including Ryan Foster, who we talked about, Jeff Barkshire, Johnny Borneman, the 16 of Brian Eichler, who's had no luck. Mark Davis as well will have to go to the back.
Yep, lots of guys. And again, this is a different type of racetrack that these guys are usually used to racing on. This is a 7/8 mile racetrack. Corner entry in some places this racetrack exceed 130, 140 miles an hour. It's a fast racetrack. Aerodynamics comes into play. Not a track that these guys normally race on.
Well, let's talk about this race. It'll be 200 laps, 175 miles. This track is 7/8 of a mile around. And they will be able to change tires. They'll have a full set at their disposal, but only able to change 2 at a time.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, talking to a lot of the teams, Andy Santerre says, I think I'm going to come in, do left sides first, take some fuel. My second stop, I'm going to make 2 stops planned here today. My second stop, I'll put right sides on it, top it off with fuel, race to the end. So 1 full set of tires is what the NASCAR has allowed these guys to have in their pits here.
All right, let me run the starting lineup for you. It's Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano on the front row, Mike Duncan and Peyton Sellers on row 2, and then the youngster Mark Davis, who has to go to the rear, Sean Case, who won on Friday night, Jeff Anton, a big surprise in qualifying on row 4, along with Brian Eichler, who has to go to the rear. Andrew Myers qualified well. Jamie Hayes, one of those developmental drivers we'll talk about on row 5. Then it's John Salemi, Brett Thompson, Ruben Pardo, and Jeff Barkshire on row 7. John West Townley, Eric Holmes on row 8. Justin Lofton from the West Series on row 9, alongside Eric Richardson. David Mayhew and Michelle Theriault on row 10. Matt Kobaluk, who's had some tough luck this year, on row 11, alongside Scott Lynch, who won at Kyle, Texas. Jesus Hernandez and Mike David will make up row 12. Row 13, Pierre Gordon from Canada, and Richard Jarman Jr. Jonathan Smith and Jim Eaglebreiter on row 14. Row 15, Mike Olson, the defending champion of the East Series, and Tim Schindel, who won the Elite Series in the Midwest Division last year. Tim McCready, one of those Richard Childress developmental drivers, will start alongside Jeffrey Earnhardt in row 16. Row 17, Ryan Foster and Daryl Haar, who's also from Canada. Jason Bowles, Rogelio Lopez on row 18. Row 19, Johnny Borneman and Brian Chu. Those are provisional starting spots. Also getting provisionals, Eric Harden, Dion Ciccarelli, Alex Haas, and John Freeman. That is your field of 42 drivers, and it should be a really strong race. I think there'll be several issues in this race, and one of them might be tires today.
Well, it could. Again, this being a new racetrack, we really don't have a whole lot of time on tires. Some teams came here to tire test a few months ago, but it snowed. It was really, really cold. The temperature got real cool, so unfortunately did not get a lot of laps on this racetrack with the new Goodyear tires, so we'll just have to see how it pans out. I'm sure that the team's got a pretty good idea here. The practice we've had here today and yesterday, they've run some 40 or 50 lap runs on these tires. Did not see any problems to speak of, so hopefully everything will be fine with the Goodyear tires.
Well, you saw the pace light being turned on the pace car, and that means that the next time by we'll take the green flag. It'll be interesting to see what Joey Logano does. You said you think he's going to tuck in line, but remember behind him now, Mike Duncan and Peyton Sellers. Those two guys, they like to get up, I know, and really race with Kevin Harvick, so it's going to be interesting to see what these first two rows will do when they take the green flag.
Yeah, and again, you can run too wide here, Mike. A lot of these guys say, hey, I like it up a little higher in that second group, all the way around the racetrack. It keeps the momentum up, keeps the motors up. They say so. You might see some teams running up there in that second group, and if Joey Logano can get that group to work for him, it's going to be a good thing, especially on this start.
Well, you're seeing the racetrack. There's a huge crowd here today. Rusty Wallace did a fantastic job designing it. We're excited to be here in a beautiful part of America in Newton, Iowa. And the pace car getting ready to head down onto the pit lane, and we're getting ready to go green flag racing here at the Iowa Speedway. Green is out. And you were right, Dan, on the start. Joey Logano tucking right in behind Kevin Harvick. What a battle for third place, though, between Mike Duncan and Peyton Sellers. They are side by side all the way around this racetrack.
Peyton's got that outside working. Talking to him earlier today also, he's one of the guys that like the outside work. My car's working good, so if he can get that car working, heat the tires in 2 laps and get single file, that's going to be big. What these guys need to do right now, a fresh racetrack like this, the heat's come up here through the day. They need to get single file, get some heat in these tires, and just see exactly what these cars are going to do.
There is Kevin Harvick. You heard Natalie mention that he won that West Championship some 10 years ago. Really got his series going, his career going, and that's where owners like Richard Childress first started noticing him. And a guy like Kevin Harvick, you may wonder, okay, this is the guy who won the Daytona 500. He won $1 million last night. What the heck is he doing racing at Iowa? He is a racer.
Well, he is.
And he loves to race.
Yep, and exactly. And he said in his own interview, he said, I came here to race. People at Iowa called me. I put a deal together, and I'm going to live up to my commitment and come race here today. And again, that's a fine racer.
And this car is put together out of his shop in Kernersville, North Carolina. Ron Hornaday races trucks out of that shop. Helped test the car, and we've already got some action on the track. That is John West Townley in the 3-car, and Tim Schindel, the 2006 champion in the Midwest Series, who have found tough going early. Let's see if we can see what happened. Boy, up against the wall, and Schindel's going to just get caught up in it. He has nowhere to go. Spun.
Tough break
the
for
rear
Tim
of that car
Schindel.
gets into him.
Out of Wisconsin, Matthew Bowes, the sponsor on that car. Possibly not too much damage on Tim Schindel's car because he had the car turned around. He backed it into him. Looks like the left rear corner's got some damage, but if it didn't get into the spoiler, well, it did. Fortunate for him. They're going to have a tough way to get that aerodynamic.
Yeah. And John West Townley, the window net is down. The safety crew is there. He's out of Watkinsville, Georgia. He had a great qualifying run. Qualified 15th. But that car's pretty well used up. His day is done. Under caution for the first time here at the Iowa Speedway. We're back with more of the Featherlite Coaches 200. Welcome back to the Iowa Speedway. Kevin Harvick leads. We are under our first caution of the day, and not only is this tough for John West Townley as well as Tim Schindel, but also Jeffrey Earnhardt, who had to come down on pit road. He got clipped, I think, with Schindel and had to have his fender pulled out a little bit and has just been held, so he has now gone a lap down. Earnhardt, he got his service done before the pace car got there, and I think they're going to give him the lap. I'm getting word from NASCAR now they're going to give him the lap back, and I think that's a good decision.
Well, it did. He had the pace car beat by big time. They just held him down at the end of pit road, and it may have been because the field was coming around. Instead of him running all the way back around and fighting through the cleanup there off in turn 2, they felt it was safer to hold him on pit road. Just as long as they give him that lap back, that's a good thing.
Well, there's the 3. John West Townley's car's used up. By the way, Jeffrey Earnhardt is the son of Kerry Earnhardt and the grandson of the late Dale Earnhardt. Schindel is coming down on pit road with pretty much of a mashed up rear end of that race car, and that's not going to be much good for the rest of the afternoon.
No, tough break for Tim Schindel. Like I said, he's from Wisconsin, loves hunting and fishing, big into hunting. See Matthews Bowes, again, the sponsor on that car. He's a good racer. Unfortunate for him this had to happen. He's had some really good runs this year, just been in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, and last year he won that Elite Series showdown at Irwindale Speedway. Natalie Taylor's got more on the service that they had to do on Jeffrey Earnhardt. Natalie?
Well, as far as Jeffrey getting back in the race there, we're not sure exactly all the details they had to do, but one thing I found interesting about Jeffrey Earnhardt is he didn't expect to get into the GM Racing's driver development evaluation program. Of course, his name and family connections might have gotten him into the group, but hey, after he got in, he did the rest on his own. He made the cut with 9 other drivers to be part of the GM's driving program. So no matter what happens, if he gets back out there, he still definitely has some positives marked under his belt already. Guys, back up to you.
Thank you, Natalie. And that General Motors development program, the tryouts, he did well. And there you see the damage on the front right of that car. Dan, what kind of effect is that going to have on that race car?
Well, it shouldn't play too much. Actually, it may even make a little bit more downforce because it's really shoved down there. But, you know, as long as it doesn't get in the fender doesn't get in the tire of Jeffrey's car, he'll be fine.
Well, we've run a couple of laps of caution here. The guy's got a little bit of a chance to feel out this racetrack.
Talking about that 11 car, that is a backup car for Dale Earnhardt Jr. there last year that he ran some at Phoenix. That was his backup Richmond car and Phoenix car. It's a brand new race car they built in DEI, and really it tested a full day of testing, Kerry was telling me, and really, you know, Junior never raced a car, so they had it in the back of the shop, they pulled it out and made a Grand National card out of it.
Well, it's getting worse on Tim Schindel's car.
Yep.
I'm not sure how much longer he's going to be able to go. And you were talking about Jeffrey Earnhardt. He's tied in now, of course, with Andy Santerre and the Sean Case car. And that's just going to be a strong team for the season. And several other drivers are coming down on pit road. Nobody, of course, will be taking tires. And we were talking about fuel mileage here. I think it's going to be tough to make it on just one fuel stop.
Well, it will. I don't think you'll see teams do that unless their car is really handling so superior they don't need them tires. Again, you know, I think a lot of teams will put left side tires on, but if you got a car that's handling really well, may not be hard on the tire, does not abuse the tire, depending on the amount of cautions, they may just make one stop, fuel up, put right sides on, and go to the end.
And again, since this is our first caution, we'll remind you of the restart rule in Grand National Series racing, where the leaders all start up front. And right now, with Jeffrey Earnhardt getting that lap back by NASCAR, there is nobody a lap down. So again, we'll have a restart with Logano and Harvick. And the big race was for third place between Mike Duncan and Peyton Sellers. Peyton Sellers, who was the Rookie of the Year last year in the West Series, moving over to his own shop now, which is in Danville, Virginia, running in the East Series. Going to try to make his mark there for the championship. There you see in the right side of your screen, Peyton Sellers out of Danville, Virginia, former Dodge Weekly National Champion, and did not have the season he expected with Bill McAnally last year on the West Coast. And so he and his dad had got together, and out of the Sellers shop in Danville, they put this deal together, and it's a pretty strong race car. He ran well on Friday night in Elko, Minnesota.
He really did. He was the fastest race car on the racetrack at Elko, and this is the same race car. Talking to Peyton, he said really had no damage to the race car. We brought it back here to Iowa. He says the car drives good. I'm real happy with it.
Well, the good news on John West Townley, and we've just gotten word from the care center that he has been released. He is okay, and that's certainly good news. His race car's not okay. It's done for the day. The other good news, the lights out on the pace car. We're getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. They'll double up as they come around to the backstretch, and we should expect the green flag again the next time by. We are 11 laps into this Featherlite Coaches 200. Well, it's just been a gorgeous day here today, and certainly in high definition on HDNet. These pictures really look good, and this sport looks great. Logano's in that black 10, and Kevin Harvick on the inside in that 33. Mike Duncan in the 9, and the 83 is Peyton Sellers as they get ready for another restart.
These guys need to spread out, get strung out here a little bit. They can go racing.
Crowd's on its feet. Pace car is off, and the green is back out.
All clear, all clear.
That's the word from Kevin Harvick's spotter as he gets past Joey Logano. All is clear, and he slides up into the groove. Logano settles into second place. And we were just talking about Peyton Sellers a moment ago. He has moved into third. Mike Duncan, who's got a little bit of different paint scheme now, is fourth. But the guy on the move is the 44 of Sean Case, trying to take fourth away from Mike Duncan.
Listening to Sean on the radio, said the car was a little bit tight, but he was okay with it. And Andy Santerre confirmed to him, hey, that's what we want right now. This track's going to free up here in a few laps.
Oh, a great battle here between the youngster Case and the veteran Mike Duncan. That's Case on the inside. Case won the race on Friday night. Finished second in the points in the East Series a year ago. His first year hooking up with Andy Santerre. That's the car that Santerre used to drive, but Mike Duncan's not giving him that position on the outside.
No, he's not. Duncan's able to hang on that outside. Again, keep the momentum up, and that's a big deal here. Depending on what they did on gearing, sometimes that outside line will be a little bit faster in some cases.
Well, that's the battle for fourth place, and Sean Case now owns it. Good drive for the youngster from Pelham, New Hampshire. Just 21 years old, Sean Case. Won 3 races a year ago, and certainly a contender to sweep this weekend. Wouldn't that be something?
Well, it really would. He did such an awesome job the other night at Elko. Just kept his nose clean, let a few cars pass him, got passed back by. Again, this individual, Sean, has just matured so much this year. It's been a good thing for him and his whole team.
Well, he moved down to North Carolina and works with Andy Santerre now in the shop, which has certainly been valuable for him to learn a little bit about that race car. There's Jeff Anton in the 30. He's got a great battle going.
35 car, Eric Norris, moved over to that team this year.
Eric Holmes, of course, the champion of the West Series a year ago in that 35 car. That is the battle for 7th place. And Jeff Anton, who's a protege of Dale Quarterly. Well, you think about how far Jeff Anton has come in a couple of years as a race driver. He was coached by Dale Quarterly, and it's all paid off. His dad was a Corvette racer in the early 70s. Jeff got his start racing motocross. Finished top 10 in the points last year, but hopes to do a lot more than that. He was 14th on Friday night in that race at Elko.
Yep, and to have a coach like Dale Quarterly, a competitor in the East Series for so long, and that's big. Again, we talked about it, driver confidence. To have a coach like that from a driver that's been there and done that, it's huge.
Speaking of coach, Eric Holmes is the son of a driver, and he's putting the move on Anton right now on the inside. And again, that's the battle for 7th place on the racetrack.
Holmes, 31 years old.
And the 29, the red 29 right there, that is Scott Lynch. Lynch, a former champion in the West Series, won the first race of the year at Kyle, Texas. That's the only race he's run this season. He's going to be a part-time campaigner in the series. But Scott Lynch in the 29 getting a little racy, running in the top 10. He's going to get by Anton.
Lynch able to stick the nose down there. He's real good from the center of the corner off. He's able to get the car down in the bottom of the race car. Listening to him on the radio earlier, man, my car is super good from the center off, and so important, especially on a 7/8 mile like this, where you can get that run, pick that 50, 100 RPM off corner exit, and carry it all the way down the straightaway.
Well, you saw in that graphic how he's moved up from 22nd to 9th place now in this race. He's a guy on the move. He's been pointing to this race doesn't race that often, and he's trying to show some car owners that he should be in that Truck Series or the Busch Series. You know, he wants a shot to move up, and I think he might get it. There's Brett Thompson in the 81. Guy had a good qualifying run, but he's dropped back a bit.
Look at these battles. These cars are tied together. Super good racing. Again, attribute that to this racetrack. The banking on this racetrack, 12 to 14 degrees in the corners. It just holds the race car. The higher you get up the banking, a little more degrees of banking you have in there. As a racer, we like these racetracks with this progressive banking.
Brett Thompson just moved into 18th position. 29-year-old driver out of Jerome, Idaho. Has one win in the West Series at Bakersfield. Mesa Morency. Mike David seems to be a little off the pace there. Mike David running 19th now. Matt Kovaluk, who's had no luck this season.
Peyton Sellers, Ruben Pardo.
Kovaluk running in the 13th position.
Again, as this race goes on, we get into some laps, get 30, 40 laps on these tires. If we can stay green, then you'll see the cars that really shine. The tires will start to go away. If the car's off a little bit, get some heat in them. The cars that are set up right, the drivers that's got hooked up to the racetrack, will slowly work their way to the front. Well,
you saw another shot of Kovaluk there in Buckensville, Connecticut, part of the Mohegan Tribal Nation. The Mohegan Sun sponsors that car. Kovaluk this year finished 36th in the race at Phoenix, and he had a fast car. 21st in the first East Series race at Greenville. Got turned around and got in some trouble there. Finished 12th at Elko. The East Series has run just one race in their season, and that was at Greenville Pickens Speedway to start the year. Here on HDNet, we'll pick up the East Series with the race at Thompson, Connecticut in mid-July. There's Andrew Myers and Scott Lynch. Boy, Scott Lynch is the car that is making the move right now. This is the battle for 6th place, and Lynch wants to take it away from Andrew Myers in that 14.
Lynch just able to get back on that gas right through the center of the corner, right down in here. He's able to pick up the throttle a little quicker, not quite so good that time. You know, he's got Andrew Myers there on the outside, but see, he just kind of pulls away half to 2 car lengths every run.
Well, I tell you what, man, that's a fast race car right there. He just smoked it by the 14 of Andrew Myers. More on Scott Lynch. Let's go down to Natalie.
Hey guys, you always hear about comparisons between track as far as leading them into their car setup for each race. Scott Lynch and his 29 team basically ran well at Phoenix and are comparing this speedway to that, since this is the first time running here at Iowa. So basically they use the same car setup, and so far it looks like it's treating them pretty well. Back to you guys.
Yeah, Lynch has always had a good run at Phoenix and always had a great car there, so he knows the kind of setup that you need to go fast on a track like this. And he is certainly fast today. Kevin Harvick has led every lap. Boy, there's Jeff Berkshire, who has scrubbed the wall. No caution flag is out. Now it's out. Yellow's out as Berkshire is not under power, and he can't get down onto the apron without the caution flag coming out. So the yellow is out, and I expect it'll be one of those quick yellows. Berkshire out of Auburn, Washington. And that Dodge scraping the wall. We can't see the damage yet on the right side of that car, but get the caution out, get these cars slowed down just a bit, and he's going to duck it on down.
Like a little right side damage, possibly flat sided that right side, but maybe able to pull that sheet metal out, double tires, get him back underway.
Give the field a chance to settle down, and I'll tell you what, Scott Lynch didn't want to see that caution. He was a guy that was just flying around this racetrack.
Nope, but I tell you what, it bunched the field up, so Scott will be happy with that. And now he can see the front. He can see Kevin Harvick. He's about 0.3 off his speed, but he's within smelling distance at this point.
Kevin Harvick has led every lap. Not surprised, are you?
Nope, he feels good. Talking to Ron Hornaday, he said, we're going to be fine. He said, it's a good race car. That was a Busch South car we put a Grand National body on. He said it's a really good piece. He said, I think he feels real good about winning here today.
Might mention that Ron Hornaday, who is a big name in the West Series, former driver there, now runs a NASCAR Craftsman truck out of the Kevin Harvick shop. And he won the race at Lowe's Motor Speedway in Charlotte on Friday night, then came here and actually set that car up yesterday as the driver. Your leader is Kevin Harvick here in the Featherlite Coaches 200 from the Iowa Speedway. Back with more in just a moment. Welcome back after 33 laps. Kevin Harvick, he has led every one of them. Joey Logano is in second place, and Peyton Sellers, Sean Case, and Mike Duncan. Speaking of Mike Duncan, that brings us to the HDNet Performance Award. And if we haven't been with us on one of our HDNet televised races, we're giving $10,000 to the cumulative lap leader of each series, the West and the East, of the races televised on HDNet. And we'll be televising West Series races through the July 4th event at Irwindale. Also be a contribution to the points fund. Now, here are the standings, and Mike Duncan is in pretty good shape. Johnny Borneman is the other full-time West driver, and I really think that it's going to be a full-time West driver. Sean Case is not going to run any more West races, so even though he's up there, really probably not going to do it. But Mike Duncan is the guy in control right now, and Duncan 5th place in this race. He has not led a lap. In fact, as we've said, nobody's led a lap other than Kevin Harvick. But Mike Duncan, he told me he is really excited, and this is an award he is going for, the HDNet Performance Award.
He is, and again, this is Mr. Pole Sitter Mike Duncan. You know, he had a tough weekend here at Elko this past, Friday night, but we have them bumps in the road, and he knows that. He's been around a long time, but he knows how to win races. He knows how to be consistent. And this HDNet Performance Award, he's got his eyes on that. He's excited about it. And he said, man, what a great bonus program to give a team.
Now, do you realize that if Kevin Harvick were to lead every lap today, he would be the leader?
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Of the HDNet Performance Award. He has got a strong race car, but we're looking at Scott Lynch, who has been moving up through the field. And again, think an interesting restart here with the youngster, 16-year-old Joey Logano. There's Alex Haas. He got the free pass and will be back on the lead lap. Running third is Peyton Sellers out of Danville, Virginia. More on Peyton. Let's go to Napa.
Hey, this number 83 team has got to be happy with third. See, most teams bring in 2 cars for this back-to-back racing weekend. Well, not Peyton. He's only got 1. So the 83 team basically had a quick turnaround to make changes, and considering that the size of the track increased to a 7/8, those changes they have made are really showing through. Guys, back up to you.
Yeah, it's not easy because most of these guys did bring 2 race cars because the changes in the tracks are so different between Elko, Minnesota on Friday night and here on Sunday at this almost a mile Iowa Speedway.
Oh, big time. I mean, it's difference between night and day, but they made some minor changes to this car. The aerodynamic package on this car was superior. It's good for the faster Speedway. Peyton said he knew that, so they made some changes suspension-wise, changed some camber caster settings, of course, gear change, and they came out here to Iowa, and obviously it worked for him.
Well, he's got some good wrenches. His brother is a pretty good wrench. Peyton is a good wrench himself, and his dad, they owned South Boston Speedway a couple of seasons ago when Peyton won the Dodge Weekly Series National Championship. And then last year, under the Richard Childress Developmental Program with Bill McAnally, was in the 16 car that Brian Eichler is driving right now. And I think Peyton Sellers has a chance at another top 5 finish.
Yeah, and again, he's an experienced racer. He knows how to win races. He just has to be calm here today. And again, this Speedway is treating him well so far.
Well, there you see the 33 of Kevin Harvick. That's not a car paint scheme that you're used to seeing Kevin Harvick in. So we'll keep reminding you that is the car that Kevin Harvick, winner of the Daytona 500, winner of $1 million last night at the Lowe's Motor Speedway, is driving today. And he has already gotten a good feel for that race car and a good feel for this racetrack.
And another important thing about this car, after this race, talking to Ron Hornaday, he said, we're going to cut this body off this race car. We're going to cut the body off. We're going to turn it back into a Busch South car. They built this body because we can do a little bit different things with the Grand National Series than you can the Busch South. The templates are not near as restrictive as they are, so what they've done is they've put a body on this that meets to the Grand National specs. They're going to run it today. They'll cut it off, then make it a Busch South car next week.
Well, I tell you what, he told Rusty Wallace today, hey, man, you got a really nice racetrack here. And Rusty gave him the deluxe tour. He came here in the booth, and Rusty, by the way, this television booth, you can tell that Rusty got into TV.
It's first class, folks, I want to tell you.
Well, the whole facility is first class, and Rusty knew what he was doing, from the TV compound to the media center to the garages for the drivers. He designed a great racetrack, and Kevin Harvick said this place is fantastic. Pace cars back down on pit road, and the green is back out at Iowa Speedway. See what happens here with Logano and Harvick. Well, Logano hanging with him a little bit longer there on the outside. The 16-year-old getting a little racy on the backstretch.
Logano able to hang on the outside there. Again, he's able to get the momentum and keep the momentum off the corner. That's what's so cool.
All clear for the moment.
How about Joey Logano, 16 years old, out in front of Kevin Harvick. I'm not sure Kevin likes that, Dan.
No, he's saying, man, where'd this kid come from? I had a, 10, 12 car length advantage here a few laps ago. Now all of a sudden I'm racing for the lead.
Well, Joey Logano, who began his racing career at the age of 7, racing quarter midgets. We saw him grow up in the summer shootout series at the Lowe's Motor Speedway, racing Bandoleros when he was 10 years old. And really one of the bright young stars of NASCAR. Everybody you talk to says this youngster is going to be a superstar.
He is, and he knows what it takes to win races. It's a Joe Gibbs car. He's got good people talking to him, telling him, hey, take it easy. The car feels good, go for it. That's exactly what his spotter just told him.
Kevin Harvick seems pretty comfortable racing side by side with him.
Well, I'll tell you, Kevin's in the catbird seat right now. He's the guy on the bottom. I don't have a problem with being down on the bottom, but man, when you're on that outside, it's a little bit touch and go out there.
Speaking of touch and go, Logano cut down all those rough fenders with Harvick.
Logano's got to be careful not to do is, again, Kevin may be playing with him here a little bit, so he may be just saying, hey, I'll let him a little bit closer just to see if we can race a little bit, but Logano's got to be careful not to burn tires up on his car.
Dan, you don't think that Kevin Harvick is going to mess around a little bit with Joey Logano, the young kid, do you? Do you?
I won't say any more about that.
Yeah, no, I think that is a long-standing NASCAR, I don't want to call it tradition, but how many times have we seen the wily veteran like a Kevin Harvick say, kid, let me show you a few tricks here.
Exactly. See Logano settling in there, and that's what he needs to do right now. 44 laps into this race. Just take care of them tires, don't abuse them. Get through that first pit cycle, and then see what you got.
When do you think that first pit cycle is going to happen, Dan?
Well, our fuel wind is going to be 70 to 85 to 90 with the cautions that we've had as of right now. So I think it's going to be, between 70 and 100 laps you're going to see fuel. They'll take probably 2 tires. Some teams may take 4, and then come back in later for just some fuel.
I can't believe Logano coming out again on the inside, and Harvick's going to duck inside to second place now as Joey Logano will be posted this lap as the leader. The Middletown, Connecticut youngster. Back in the field, that is Scott Lynch taking position away from Mike Duncan. That's the battle for 5th place. So now Scott Lynch, who started 22nd, has made it to the top 5.
Scott Lynch, again, we talked about his car being so good. He's starting way back in the pack and just working his way through. He's got a hot rod there.
I'll say he does.
Yeah, his times are within 1 to 2 tenths of the leaders at this point. So,
and let's give some credit to Scott Lynch and his team and his whole family being involved. They don't have a sponsor on this car. It's a total family operation, limited budget, and they have really put a great race car together today for this race.
Well, they have, and Scott's had some ups and downs in this series. I mean, he's tore up some good race cars and not had the financial backing to get back out there and do it. He's able to put a deal together and come to Iowa Speedway, and he's proven that he's got what it takes to wheel one of these cars around.
Now in 4th place, setting his sights on Sean Case. Scott Lynch has been the man on the move.
See Mike Duncan, again, Mr. Consistency. He's always been one just to hang in there, be there at the end. He knows what it takes to win championships, and that's what it's about. We don't have the race car at this time in the race, just hang in there, wait for that first pit stop.
Here's a shot of Mike Duncan, champion in the West Series 2 times in 04 and 05, running in the 5th position. And the guy we've been bragging on all race here as we approach lap 50, Rusty Wallace, who designed this great track, is in the booth with us. Rusty, you've got to be really excited about what we're seeing here today.
I'm really excited about what we're seeing right now, guys. We've got a sold-out crowd here at Iowa today. It's a fantastic day, and as you saw earlier, Joe Logano and Kevin Harvick side by side through the banking. That's what the multi-groove banking was designed to do. We got 12 degrees on the bottom, 13 in the middle, and 14 up top. It's creating a lot of side-by-side racing. As we look back in the pack, we see side-by-side racing too. And that's what it's all about in the track. I'll tell you what, there's no I in the team of designing this place. There's a lot of people involved in it.
How about Joey Logano, 16 years old? There are a lot of folks in the NASCAR world talking about this guy who has such a bright future ahead of him.
Well, he's looking great out there. Gibbs has gave him a good car. Plus, Joey's doing a good job driving the car. I see him put his nose in positions that he could have a problem with, and he doesn't seem to hurt the car. He drives real smart. He's been doing a lot of testing, and as you can tell, that testing's paying off for him.
Well, Rusty, and this is a sore subject. I know your driver, he's a bright young driver in Chase Austin, but he had a little trouble in qualifying, and I know not in this race today. You had to be disappointed.
Oh, I was real disappointed. Chase was second fastest in practice. He looked fantastic out there. Just a great run going. And he drew number 2 to go out in qualifying. I hate when you draw early, because when you draw that early, the track's kind of greasy, you slide around, especially on an asphalt track. But I thought he was a little unprepared for it. He got too loose. In that second lap, he just tried too hard, and he lost it coming off of turn 2. But, you know, I'm sticking with him. That's growing pains. That's what it's all about. But I see speed out of him. I see him second in practice. I saw him up at Elko, Minnesota, 6th in practice. Good stuff like that. He just needs some more seat time.
Well, Rusty, we've all been there. I mean, I'm sure once or twice you were overdriven in qualifying and maybe backed her in the wall.
Once or twice. I have done that a lot in my career, and that'll come. The time, he'll get better and better. One good thing, guys, we got the speed. We got the speed in Chase Austin. He's running fast. And look at this guy as we come down the front straight. 3 wide.
3 wide, yeah. That was with the 40 car of Max Tobaluk, Tim McCready, who was a developmental driver for Richard Childress. That 3 wide racing. There's Jesus Hernandez.
And again, you attribute this to the grip. What'd you do for asphalt here, Rusty? It's got so much grip. It's got tremendous grip, even though we got the progressive banking.
And Hernandez has turned around and spun, and he keep it off the wall. Yellow is out. Caution is out on the racetrack, as Jesus Hernandez, another developmental driver, has spun. He's driving for Ginn Motorsports in the Drive for Diversity program. Got started late models at Irwindale.
Looks like he got a little right rear quarter damage there, possibly. Not too bad. He may be okay. Gets down in the corner. Just looks like he slides up the racetrack there, Rusty.
Yeah, it looks like they run out of real estate down there. Got into turn 3 and just ran out of room and spun the car and did a great job. He just barely tipped the right rear quarter of the car and didn't tear much up.
Again, he gets down there, just slides, loses the nose of the race car, and just slides up to the 31 car, McCready, I guess, and turns around, just touches the outside wall. Again, that soft wall, another great innovation here. All the way around this racetrack, we got soft walls, is that correct?
In fact, this particular track is the only track in America that does not have a concrete wall. There's no concrete walls. This is the brand new design, soft wall all around the track. And I don't know if you guys are utilizing the in-surface cameras or not, but we've got cameras in the racetrack too, and we'll take a look at those later on.
Awesome. It is awesome. Now, Rusty, you left no stone unturned planning this racetrack, from the garage to the media center to the TV booths. By the way, I like the mirrors that you put in. You can tell. We made the point. We can tell that Rusty's gotten in TV.
Well, I just got to make sure that you got a mirror so you can adjust your tie, guys. You get just perfect, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, look, I'm a step away. I just want to stop by and say thank you, HDNet, for covering our track here at Iowa for the first race. It's nice having you guys here with a sold-out crowd tonight, or this afternoon, I mean, and we got a great race going on.
Yeah, we do. And Rusty, thanks for being with us, and again, congratulations on this racetrack. It's a great facility.
All right, thank you very much. Hopefully we'll see a lot more racing to come. We got some pit stops happening, it looks like.
Thanks,
yeah,
Rusty.
we did. Thanks a lot, Rusty. We'll check in on these pit stops now. Among them, one of the leaders, Sean Case, is in. Peyton Sellers has already been in for a few minutes.
Hold up, we might have a loose lug nut.
A little lug nut loose on the right front of that car. Here, Andy.
So they're taking the time now to put fuel in the car, and remember, they can only change 2 tires at a time under caution.
That was that vibration. We're okay, bud. They got them tight.
That's the voice of Andy Santerre, the owner and the crew chief on the Sean Case machine.
Sean complaining a little bit earlier of a vibration on that car, so they just found it, hopefully.
Justin Lofton, great young driver, 21 years old, out of Westmoreland, California, and his motor cut off, had a little trouble getting it refired there.
Crew gets him pushed off. 57 laps into the race, a little early for pit stops at this point, but said Sean Case had a vibration, so really had no choice, needed to get in there and get that taken care of. especially the speeds that we carry on this racetrack.
Man, that shit don't.
Well,
Just
there
a-
in the garage, unfortunately, the car of Peyton Sellers. You heard Natalie Taylor tell us that was the car that they ran on Friday night, and try to get a word from her right now. Natalie, what happened with Peyton Sellers?
Hey guys, I was just sitting there talking to the crew chief of Peyton Sellers, and basically they lost a cylinder, and they've got everyone's eyes looking under the hood, and even Peyton is out of the car now, and not looking very happy about it, to be honest. So it's going to be interesting if they're going to be able to pull it together. They're trying to be optimistic, but it's looking like this might cost them that lost cylinders.
Yeah,
Not looking
that's going to cost him, I think, and it's going to be tough for him to get back out there.
Tough break. What happens sometimes with these motors is we had 3 or 4 of them we changed in practice. It's usually detonation that hurts these motors more than anything. Talking to Carl Wagner, the motor builder that builds probably 80% of these engines in this series, if the timings, we put too much time in these engines, it causes them to detonate. Makes the engine get too hot. It burns a hole in the piston, burns the engine up. So the team sometimes try and push that ignition timing up, and it detonates the motor, causes them to burn the motor down. So sometimes it's just a tough break. Again, every team, every driver tries to get the most out of every engine they can.
Now that the pit stops, for the most part, have been completed, the top 5 is basically going to stay the same. I'm not sure that any of those came down on pit road. I think the only leader that came in was Sean Case, and you heard him tell Andy Santerre he was feeling a vibration in his car. Though it's Joey Logano there on the inside, the leader of the race, Kevin Harvick alongside him. And how about that red car of Scott Lynch, who is now in 3rd position. We told you, one of the fastest cars out there, and certainly the guy who has made the biggest move in this race.
That'd be the hard charger award there, starting 22nd here today.
Mike Duncan will be 4th, and Eric Holmes 5th. Green is back out.
See how Kevin likes that outside groove. Not sure if he likes it out there, but I'm sure he'll make the best of it if he can get a run.
Well, he's making it right now. Joey Logano, the developmental driver for Joe Gibbs, is really fast today.
Well, he is. It's like they flip-flop spots here. Kevin used to running a little bit more on the bottom side, and Joey says, I think I'll try this groove out now, see what happens.
Scott Lynch tried to get up there and battle with those two, but I think the wiser move is what he's doing right now, just to hang in 3rd place. As Kevin Harvick retakes the lead here at Iowa.
Good run off turn 2 there, was able to keep that momentum up. Get a good shot off the corner. See Kevin running the high side of that racetrack.
Joey Logano been in a race car really since he was 6, 7 years old. While he's only 16, he's got 10 years of experience.
Unbelievable.
He started racing quarter midgets, and that's something I know you're involved in. That is really a good way for a 7, 8-year-old youngster to start out and start learning a little bit about racing.
Well, it is. The Quarter Midget QMA Association, they start them at 5 years old. You start racing them quarter midgets. They learn track procedure and discipline. Both my kids race Danielle and Preston, New Smyrna Speedway down in Florida. It's just a great, great learning place for kids to grow up. And also, Mark Davis grew up with Joey Logano racing quarter midgets. Talking to Mark Davis's dad, Harry, he said, hey, that's where we started, that's where we met. He said, it's kind of cool. Joey Logano and Mark Davis, we came up through all these series together. We went to Bandoleros, then we went to trucks. He said, and believe it or not, look at us. We've met back together at Joe Gibbs Racing and doing development drivers. And he said, it's just a small world.
Well, more on that. Let's go down to Natalie Taylor.
Joey Logano's doing well, but he also tries to help out his teammate, Mark Davis. Basically, Joey was able to test at the Richmond track and went ahead and shared all the information that he got with Mark, and obviously looked out that testing at Richmond is definitely helping out Joey's team.
All right, thank you, Natalie. Mark Davis, who originally from Mitchellville, Maryland, but his dad moved the family down to Mooresville, North Carolina to be around the racing community. Is there you see Brian Eichler, another youngster, had to go to the back, qualified well.
31 car, Tim McCready, the son of Barefoot Bob McCready. Oh, a little bit loose. You're talking about dirt racing.
Little squirrely right there, yeah.
Wow.
His dad, a famous dirt racer, and McCready always did dirt racing there.
That's a Richard Childress car. Richard Childress had his eye on Tim McCready and said, I want to put him in a development car. I like that kid. I like what he's got. He's here today in an RCR development drive.
Also, Ryan Foster in the 21 car, part of Richard Childress' developmental team. We hope to have Richard here in the booth in a short while to talk with us. He's got to be excited. Why not? Team wins $1 million less than 24 hours ago. There's Mark Davis, who is just 16 years old. He drove at the Hickory Motor Speedway last year, a famous track in North Carolina, and had 6 wins. He's got Mike McLaughlin, Hot Shoes Mike McLaughlin, who's been helping him and coaching him a little bit. That's a pretty good guy to have as a coach. And Joe Gibbs really smart in bringing these guys along and giving them some guys to help teach them a little bit about driving this big, heavy race car.
Well, again, at the age 8, they've been racing together, him and Joey Logano, since the age of 8. Talking to his father, Harry, he said, it's just a small world. He said, we pulled on a trailer, open trailer for years and years, raced together. He said, we were racing down in Hickory one night, a limited late model. He said, Mark Davis was 14 years old. He said, and that's where Joe Gibbs saw us. He said, we got the phone call shortly after that and said, hey, we think he's got what it takes. Why don't you come and play with us a little bit?
Now, for more on Mark Davis, let's go back down to Natalie.
You know, Mark may only be 16, but his crew is not much older. He's got a 24-year-old, 18-year-old, 22-year-old, and his crew chief, Scott Gilbert, is only 36. They're quite excited because this team could be together for 10, 20 years. Who knows? Scott Gilbert even said it's a different feeling to know that we could be with our driver for quite a long time, and they are excited for Mark Davis's future.
Well, this all speaks about this series, which has become a developmental series for NASCAR, and I think it's a great thing. And one of the examples and results of that being a developmental series is we see over 50 cars show up today for 42 spots. We've had full fields all season in the East and the West Series, and we've had bright young stars. But you're going to see guys like Mark Davis and Joey Logano in the Nextel Cup Series in not too distant future.
And this is a feeder series, Mike, just like you said. What NASCAR has done with this series is just tremendous. I mean, they've put a group together. They're trying to join the East and the West Series. They've changed the cars a little bit. They brought in the spec motor. They brought in the composite body to help save money, to help teams budget. I mean, what they've done is proven to work. It's proven to be successful.
And now Kevin Harvick had said, okay, kid, enough messing around. I'm going back to the front.
Well, if you look at the clock, they're really within a tenth of a second. So, I mean, and that's been watching Kevin's laps here, 2380, 2390. Really hasn't run much faster than that, except on brand new tires the first 5 or 10 laps. So that's about where he's settled in. So I'm not sure at this point in the race whether he's actually playing with Joey Logano that much.
Well, I don't think those two have been in, and I think that it's going to be pretty soon now that they're going to need a caution to come in and get tires and fuel.
Well, we've run probably 10 caution laps, so that's going to move our window up about another 10 laps. So like you said, about another 10 to 15 laps. If it stays green, Mike, you'll see some green flag pit stops.
I'm not sure that that's something they want to do, although Kevin Harvick has brought a pretty good crew with him here today.
That's the guy who will benefit most if that happens. Again, Kevin Harvick bringing some of his Busch Series crew with him. Tire changes on them cars, obviously a lot faster than his normal crews could change, although Joey Logano probably has one heck of a pit crew too.
Ruben Pardo making a green flag stop. Feels he needs fuel right now, and he's putting fuel in the car and changing right side tires.
Again, like we talked about, NASCAR giving these cars 8 tires for the race and the pit stop. So basically you start with 4, that gives you 4 more through the course of the race. So the teams that come in and elect to take 4 tires the very first pit stop, they'll pretty much be out of tires at that point.
We saw Alex Haas going another lap down, and there coming off of pit road is Ruben Pardo out of Mexico City. He was the Rookie of the Year last year in the East Series. Won the race at Lime Rock. Oh my goodness, taking a hard left turn to the garage. Last year's West Series champion, Eric Holmes.
Wow.
So he's got motor problems as well.
Oh, Case shut down.
Sean Case.
Problem on the 44 car.
Right front tire blew on him and he went up into the wall.
Wow.
Case in trouble. Still no yellows.
Green stays out. Looks like Case limps around, dropping debris. Not sure whether he'll get a caution or not, but right front tire down on that car. And again, we talked about this
Yellow's
earlier.
out. Yellow is out, Dan, and we are going to see a lot, I think, pit stops among the leaders now as there gets to be a little bit of scrambling on pit road. Sean Case, of course, will be coming down. This is not a stop that he wanted to make. He had already gotten service and tightened up a loose lug nut to stop a vibration in the car. But something else happened, and he cut down that right front and slammed up into the wall. And now we'll come to the attention of Andy Santerre and his crew. And there is damage on that right front.
This is really what the other teams wanted to see. Unfortunately, 44 car Sean did not want to see this, but not knowing what these tires do on the long run, that may be a case of, like I said, too much camber in the car or just the tire flat wearing out after 75 or 80 laps. So my bet is you're going to see all these cars come in and take some tires at this point.
Well, we'll see what happens with Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, and if they do indeed decide to come down onto pit road.
Pull that right front out. Looks like hopefully they didn't.
The red flag is out. I'm not sure pit road is open yet.
Nope, I don't believe
Pit road looks like it remains closed, and one car tried to duck in. It was the
David Mayhew.
David Mayhew who went in and said, uh-oh, pit road's not open. I better get back out on the racetrack. So he did, and of course Andy Santerre's car of Sean Case had no choice but to come down and get that tire changed.
Sean back underway.
Yeah, but he's way back in the field and does not look like Sean Case is going to be able to repeat and get a sweep of the East-West battles this weekend. And I would imagine that this time around pit road is going to be open and you're going to see your leaders ducking in, changing 2 tires, and even more important, taking on fuel.
Yep, and that's going to be the call whether we take just 2 or 4 tires at this point. Some teams may take just left side tires.
But if you take 4, you've got to go all the way back around and come back in.
Yeah, correct.
You can only take 2 at a time.
Cannot take all 4 of them. See Kevin Harvick kind of bluffing everybody.
He
drops
did,
to the bottom of the racetrack, pulls back up.
How about that? Kevin Harvick with the bluff. Mike Duncan is going to be coming down, though. So is Mayhew. So is Mark Davis, Mike David, Brett Thompson. Well, a number of cars are coming onto pit road, but not Kevin Harvick. What do you think's behind that decision?
Well, again, we talked these. If the car's set up right and it feels good, they will not use the tires. Although he's going to need fuel, it's got to be within the next 10 to 15 laps. So, he's going to have to come back up here. Here's Harvick.
Now this is a veteran move right here.
Drops it down to the yellow line. Tries to fool everybody. Says, I'm coming down pit row, hoping the 10 car maybe might come with him. Says, nope, I don't think so. See Scott Lynch pull back up the racetrack.
You know, Dan, that's exactly what he was doing. He was trying to make that 16-year-old Joey Logano duck down onto pit road, and Joey says, nah, I've been racing since I'm 7 years old.
Yep.
I'm not going to do that.
Didn't work. He said, I'm going to follow him, racetrack, pit row, wherever he thinks he's going. I'm not going that way.
Well, I think that fender has got to be rubbing on that tire just a little bit, and having actually to put another right front tire onto the 44 car, and it is just going to be a rough afternoon.
Well, possibly if did not knock the front alignment out of this car, the toe end or the caster camber, he'll be fine. He'll still have a good race car, and he can charge his way back up to the front. He's had a really good car here. He's a good third-place car here today. It's just a matter of what it done to the suspension on that race car.
Let's go down to Natalie for more on the 44.
Talking about the toe end, it was definitely ugly down here. Not as ugly as the right front tire that he blew the first time. And let me say, that incident has caused this crew to be very upset. They are hungry for him to get back up front and not happy by any means on what happened. So hopefully that second set of adjustments will be able to get Sean back up front.
Well, he's got a long way to go and some tough competition up through this field. And one thing that Rusty was telling us, the great thing about this racetrack is you can race side by side, and there are a lot of fast cars here. But right now, the youngster and the veteran, Joey Logano and Kevin Harvick, the class of the field. After 84 laps, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano battling, Scott Lynch having a great race today, and from the back of the field, Brian Eichler has made it up. He has not made a pit stop, and neither has Tim McCready. Tough luck today for Eric Holmes, who was the West champion a year ago. Natalie, what's the story on that 35 car?
Well, basically the 35's dealing with a cracked oil pan. They're trying frantically to get a new one in there and get him back out there. And like you said, this is his first full season in the West Division. And basically the crew that's working on the car now, completely new team from last year. But I got some people I'm sure are not happy in Escalon, California. See, Eric's mom owns a bar there. And every time Eric's in a car, you better believe that every television set is tuned to HDNet watching Eric race. And unfortunately, I bet they've got their fingers crossed. So we'll see if the team fixes the oil pan.
All right. I had a chance to meet Eric's mom last year, and you know she's there and not happy about it. And so far, Eric, in that E-Series, finished 15th at Greenville, and on Friday night he was 13th in that race in Minnesota. Has yet to have a top 10 this year, and last year he was never out of the top 10. So a kind of turnaround of season for him. And there's Harvick and Logano battling for the lead.
Coming up on a little lap traffic there. He drops to the bottom. Silva Jr. gets out of the way. Good move.
And that's a smart move by the youngster Logano. Okay, lap traffic. I'm not going to race you right here.
Yep, get out of the way. Again, Kevin Harvick giving him plenty of room. See Kevin running way up high on that racetrack, able to get that big run off the corner. See Logano look to the bottom. Not able to get the run off the corner when he runs that bottom groove, though. So he knows Kevin likes it up there. Of course, Kevin, one of the few cars running that high on the racetrack, so he's actually laying new rubber down.
I can't wait to hear what Kevin Harvick thinks of this youngster, Joey Logano. I'm willing to bet he's impressed.
Well, he's got to be, because he's running side by side with him. And I tell you, it's not every day that a Nextel Cup driver will let a driver in another series get underneath him or run on the outside of him, able to get right up on his bumper, because a lot of times you live and learn, and these guys slip, make mistakes. So obviously Kevin Harvick's got a lot of confidence in Joey Logano.
I'm not sure that there's anything Harvick can do about that. I think Logano's got a great race car, and he's showing it right now.
These guys are going back and forth every lap. I tell you, no one's falling in line, no one's walking away. Times on our clock are about consistent. They're within a tenth of a second of each other. So I think this is just good, hard racing.
And that red car behind him, Scott Lynch hanging there in third place.
Yep, Scott slowly creeping up on him, coming into the picture there. Got a good race car, just smelling a little bit of their draft. And, you know, at corner entry, we run some 140 mile an hour here, so draft does come into play at the end of these straightaways. So it is important sometimes when you're trying to reel a guy in to get in his air, try to follow his footsteps all the way down the course of that straightaway.
Well, while these two are battling for the lead, this is a great battle right here for the lead. And you see the yellow stripe on the back of Joey Logano's car when he comes around. That signifies that he is a rookie. But he's certainly not driving like one.
I'll tell you, as a rookie and a youngster like that, it's got to mean a lot to him to say, man, this is Kevin Harvick. This is the guy that won the All-Star last night, the $1 million winner, and I'm running side by side with him in racing. Got to be a good feeling.
Now, Dan, you realize that Joey Logano is barely old enough to have a driver's license.
Yes.
And this youngster putting on a show today. See the laps he's led, 23 of them. Put a little distance on Kevin Harvick. Now there's a guy that's made his way into the top 5, Brian Eichler. Qualified well, but then had to drop back to the field to stop the race. And there he is trying to catch Scott Lynch. This will be the battle for third place. Eichler has had no luck at all this year. Finished 23rd in Kyle, Texas, 33rd in Phoenix, and he had good race cars in all of these races. 13th when we went to Altamont in California. And then on Friday night, had a fast race car, got involved with Joey Logano, and finished 20th. It has just been a tough year for the 16 car. Let's go down and get more from Natalie.
You know, Brian Eichler has been qualifying poorly before Elko and had a strong run last night, but they decided to put in a completely new motor for today's race. And while we were down there before the race talking to him, he wanted to stay talking to us because he was a little bit nervous about the new motor. But hey, it looks like it's doing pretty well.
Well, Natalie, you're right. They made a motor change in that car. Just could not get the temperature down. Talking to Bill McAnally, he said, we could not get the temperature below 230. We untaped it, we put a new radiator in, nothing would work. We felt the right decision was to put a new motor in that car, and obviously it definitely was the right decision.
And while Eichler wasn't in that car last year, he did drive for Bill McAnally and actually had 2 second-place finishes, which is why this season has been so disappointing for them. He has not finished in the top 10, and that's considered one of the top rides in the West Series. And not going to be long that he's going to be able to get up there and battle with Scott Lynch for third place.
No, and they made a big change here in the last week or so. Not a big change, but they brought Joe Shear Jr. in the shop. Joe's been around racing a long time, and he's a consultant.
Well, there's a car that just hit the wall in turn 4. We're going to get another caution flag here.
It's like Sean Case. Unfortunately, the right front looks like the right front blew in that race car. He just shot up the racetrack hard into the outside retaining wall.
He's had trouble with that all day long. And Sean Case You know what this is going to really hurt him for is for the race for the series championship, because Sean Case finished second to Joey Logano in Greenville, first race of the series, won at Elko, but is going to have a poor finish here today, and that's going to hurt in that battle for the East Series points championship. And boy, that right front is really done in now.
Yeah, it's just tucked up under there. It looked like he blew a right front tire going down into turn 3. The car just shot up the racetrack. Nothing Sean could do, just hang on. Obviously, we talked about it, these soft walls, much, much safer for the drivers, less damage on the cars, although that car is pretty used up here today.
Well, what a tough day for young Sean Case, 21 years old, but you know, it's all part of racing. You pack up and go on to the next event. It's one of those things, you can see him hanging his arm out the window. He is really frustrated and disgusted. This young man is a competitor. I mean, a competitor.
He is. I mean, he runs so fine, runs such a stellar race the other night at Elko Speedway. But Robert Yates put it best. He said, don't let your highs get too high. Don't let your lows get too low in this business. He said, you'll be fine. Sometimes you just got to ride that horse.
Well, one of the top drivers in the field today, not going to be able to be competitive here. Sean Case looks like he is out of the race. We're on lap 100. We are halfway through, and now it almost seems certain that our leaders, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, will be pitting.
I would have to say at this point they're going to have to pit. They're getting tight on fuel, so they've got to get in there. Pit row is closed right now while the track crews clean up the racetrack. They've got pit row closed, so I'm looking, my bet is when they open pit row, you're going to see a big part of the field come down pit row.
Well, we're going to see all the leaders come in, that's for sure. And we're talking about Logano, Kevin Harvick, Scott Lynch, Brian Eichler, Matt Kobaluk. That is your top 5. Ryan Foster has been making a move, the Richard Childress developmental driver. He is in 6th place right now. Mike Olson, defending champion in the East Series, running 7th. Tim McCready's having a great day in the top 10. And Jim Englebright, we haven't mentioned his name. He's been in the top 10 today. So is Justin Lofton. That is the top 10 in the race here. Halfway through this Featherlite Coaches 200.
This will shuffle the cards here a little bit, Mike. You know, pit row, again, some of these teams are prepared for pit stops. Some of them had to travel a long way, don't have the teams to get in and get them tires changed quickly, so that could make them and break them during this pit stop.
Well, the safety truck has pulled off of the racetrack, so I imagine that this time by, pit road is going to be open. And we will see if Logano and the rest of the field duck down.
Pit road is open. They're waving.
Here they come.
Green flag down there.
This is going to be a big part of the race right here.
Joey Logano leading the way.
Who can get their tires changed and back out first? Track position is important here. Logano is in, his crew going to work. Eichler is in, his crew going to work. All the way down at the end of pit road is where Kevin Harvick will stop in there. He will change right side tires. Logano is down and away.
See, looks like right side tires on Harvick's.
Boy, great
Back
pit
underway.
stop by the Kevin Harvick crew, but Logano's team did pretty good as well, and Joey Logano is the first off of pit road and maintains the lead. Great job, not only by the young driver, but that young crew that Natalie Taylor told us about did a great job of service on pit road and got their driver out pretty quick.
Well, they did everything right. They knew they were just going to do right sides, and again, this is what it's about. This is where not only the drivers learn to drive, but the crews learn also here. So again, this is just a tremendous breeding ground, grassroots racing that NASCAR has developed.
Well, the pit stop's complete by our leaders. They're going to come in, and Logano is apparently to change left sides this time. We'll be back to tell you how that goes in a moment.
All clear out. 3,700. Good job, guys. Good job.
Harvick beat him.
Harvick beat him that time.
Just barely.
Barely beat him. That was
Beat us that second time.
Go up there and bump.
That's all right. All right, bud, we're going to have to take it easy here on these tires still. Go for it. Good job, guys. A little bit of wear on the right rear, so we just got to be patient with this, baby. All right. Gonna show a lot of patience here, man.
Got to talk about
Cars, and then we'll double up.
Let's go do the pit stop thing first.
Around the 88.
Are they going back green?
Yes. Going green.
No. Put a yellow back out. Light came back on. Still under caution here at the Iowa Speedway. They did come back in, the leaders, to get left side tires, and Joey Logano and Kevin Harvick had quite the battle between the crews to see who would get off of pit road first. Take a look at it, and you will see Logano. He is in the black number 10, and there's Harvick in the 33.
Coming in, looks like.
Well, you got to maintain that pit road speed, and you know sometimes that gets awfully frustrating for a driver. Logano comes in first. His team really does a great job changing the left sides. They've done it very smooth with that team, and Harvick's team, of course, used to it, and you see them going to work. Now watch what happens at the end of the service for Kevin Harvick in this battle off the end of pit road.
Right there you see the drop, Kevin. It's like he beat him by about a car length.
Barely beat him. And now they're bunched up. Light is off of the pace car. We're ready to go back. Green flag racing. Mike Duncan posted as the leader. Justin Lofton second, and Mike David, Brett Thompson on the second row. So Logano and Harvick are going to have to come up through the field.
Wow, on that start, it looked like Mike Duncan and Justin Lofton got together a little bit there, touched each other, and took off.
Now remember, this lap is important because Mike Duncan came into today as our HDNet Performance Award leader, and this may be the first lap that he has led today, and this will count, of course, towards that HDNet Performance Award. He is credited with his first lap lead of the day.
Bill Cedric on the 9 car.
Kevin Harvick, if you're wondering, is 18th right now. And Joey Logano got caught up a little bit in lap traffic. There's a car in the wall.
Jamie Hayes.
Jamie Hayes in the Ken Schrader car. Also affiliated with Hendrick Motorsports, another developmental deal.
Got turned around.
Jamie Hayes, who made his mark with late model racing at Concord, Hickory Speedway in North Carolina, South Boston in Virginia. But he has brought out another caution here.
Don't appear to be too much damage on the car. He got the car stopped before it got in the wall. Crew will go to service on the left side of that car. Not sure if he maybe has the left side tire down. See the Federated Auto Parts suits of them cars, Ken Schrader's team. Donnie Richardson, the crew chief on that car.
Well, with those pit stops, well, the order running of this race has really shaken up a bit. You will see coming across the top of your screen, Kevin Harvick in 17th. But Joey Logano is back in 22nd as he got caught in some lap traffic. So here's where the veteran, I think, really pays off in Kevin Harvick, knowing how to work his way up through the field, and Joey Logano not quite as much experience as doing that.
Well, patience is the big thing, and that's sometimes we learn that the hard way. You have to be patient. We talked about it. Rusty was here a little while ago and talked about his driver. That's just something that a driver learns. It's just patience, and it's hard to do. It's hard to tune back a race car driver sometimes, and obviously Kevin Harvick's got the big advantage on that.
Well, Logano's now some 5 spots behind him. Those two had been running side by side all day. There's Joey Logano, posted back in the 22nd position. And basically you chalk that up to 16-year-old inexperience being back in the pack. He'd been out front all day long. And the new top 10 has a lot of new names in it, as you see at the top of your screen. But Mike Duncan, the leader, and Justin Lofton, who's just 21 years old, out of Westmoreland, California, running second. And Mike David, we talked about his consistency. The West points leader is running third. Fourth, another youngster, 21-year-old Eric Richardson. Brett Thompson, who's had a pretty good season, running fifth. Thompson had a bad night on Friday at Elko, finished 27th, but he had a top 10 at Altamont and a top 10 at Kyle in West Series races. Eric Harden, we haven't mentioned his name all day long. He is running sixth. Daryl Haar is seventh. Brian Eichler, eighth. Jeff Anton, ninth. And for the first time in the top 10 today, Johnny Borneman. Names we haven't talked about. Borneman from the West Series, one of those who had to start at the rear in this race. There is Johnny Borneman. Boy, remember at Altamont, had a great run going on the last lap, spun. Finished 23rd on Friday night, not the race he wanted to have. Trying to make up for it here today, and so it'll be interesting to see with Kevin Harvick, the fastest car on the racetrack, if these guys up front can hold on a bit, particularly Mike Duncan, the veteran. And it's also going to be interesting to see Joey Logano try to work his way up and maybe take some lessons from Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, exactly. And, listening to Joey on the radio, he said, man, I just got caught in a little bit of traffic there, got hung up on that outside. His team just reiterated to him, Joey, take your time. You've got a good car. You can win this race. Just be patient, work your way to the front. That's exactly what I think they'll do.
Well, we have just under 90 laps remaining, 81 to go to make up the 200 here in the Featherlite Coaches 200. And the light is off on the pace car, so another restart. And we'll try to keep track of Kevin Harvick as he makes his way up through the field. This is where you're going to see his real skill as a race car driver. Mike Duncan, Justin Lofton, two West Series drivers, are up front. The East Series dominated the race in Elko, Minnesota on Friday night. Pace cars on pit road. Green flag is out.
Barely at your corner. Barely at your corner. Okay, outside. Outside, outside, still outside, just barely. Still outside, just barely. Barely. Clear. All clear. Pick your line.
That's the voice of Bill Sedgwick, former champion in his own right, who's the crew chief and also the spotter for Mike Duncan.
Bill, with years and years of experience, three wide racing down the front stretch again. We talked about this.
Are you kidding me? That's Eric Harden up on the outside. Daryl Haar on the inside. In the middle of the sandwich was Brian Eichler.
Wow, Eric went in three wide down in the corner there, and it's stuck. I tell you, again, with his progressive banking, getting some rubber down there on the outside, makes for some really good racing.
I got to give another shout out to Rusty Wallace, who designed this place to be able to do that. Car's in the wall.
Oh.
It's Gobelak. He's turned around, and the defending series champion Mike Olson plowed into him. Gobelak hit awfully hard, and then Mike Olson had nowhere to go.
Gobelak getting loose right on the outside groove, coming off of turn 4. Nothing he could do, stayed in the gas, drove right across the racetrack. Mike Olson, unfortunately, a victim of the circumstance, got some of that also.
It's been a series of crumpled race cars for Mike Olson, and the safety crew there very quickly to attend to him. Let's hope he's okay.
Looks like the wind and net is down.
Matt Gobelak out of Uncasville, Connecticut. He's got 10 wins in the East Series. 5th in points last year. Admitted it was disappointment, but this year he does not have a top 10, and he started the East Series season with a 21st place run in Greenville. He was 12th on Friday night. There's Olson. Look at the damage on the right side to Mike Olson in that Little Trees car. Watch it again.
Play of this again. Gobelak way high. You see Gobelak up on the outside, stays in the gas wide open, just barely touches the soft wall, stays in the gas, but unfortunately he's got it turned left and pow! Right in the side of Mike Olson. Nowhere to go. Wow.
What a tough year for Matt Gobelak, who's got a strong team.
See Matt climbing out of the car.
That's a good sight to see.
Big guy too.
Well, he's the tallest driver in either series at 6'5". But Kobaluk, while he's disappointed and disheartened, looks to be okay, and that is good news.
He had a good race car. He just fighting a loose condition there. Listening to him a little bit on the radio and not happy with it, but unfortunately he just got hung on that outside. You've seen him up in that fourth groove. No grip up there, nothing he could do.
And I'll tell you another thing. You know how short we were under green, the short time we were under green. Kevin Harvick made up 3 spots. He moved from 17th to 14th. He'll take the mandatory ride to the infield care center. But again, looks to be okay. But not his race car. And not the race car of Mike Olson. Mike Olson has said this will be his final year in that Little Tree Chevrolet. That sponsor's been with him for over a decade. They are deciding to get out of racing. And Mike Olson says, been in this series a while. I've won 2 championships. He's the grandson of a legend, Stub Fadden, in that what was the North Series. Mike Olson today, his 186th consecutive start. And it's not going to be a good day for either he or Matt Kobaluk. We're back to Iowa in just a moment. Back under caution. After 116 laps, Matt Kobaluk spinning into the wall and collecting Mike Olson. Those are 2 of the real veterans in this East Series. One of the neat things I think about this Grand National Division now is that we have veterans and young developmental drivers going head-to-head each time they race, and 2 veterans have fallen by the wayside now from the East Series, and Kobaluk and Mike Olson. Leader remains Mike Duncan, and we will see him in our next race, which is Saturday, June 2nd at the Colorado Speedway in Erie, Colorado. 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Pacific for the Colorado National Speedway 150. Looking forward to seeing that racetrack. Track I've never been to, and looking forward to heading to Denver, the home of HD Mick.
Guys trying to keep some heat in these tires, keep the rocks off of them. Mike Olson attends to the 61 Little Trees car.
Well, that car is not going to be competitive for the rest of the day. He went out and tried to run, and there was all kinds of fender rubbing on the tires, which they're trying to take care of right now. If you see them get that crowbar in there to try to pry the fender off of the tires, so any tire smoke, and on the hook, as they call it, Matt Kobaluk's car done for the day. Boy, tough break for Olson. Olson had a top 10 finish at Greenville and finished 7th in the first E-Series race of the year. And then at Elko on Friday night, he had a good run, Danny. He finished 5th.
Yep.
So this will be his first poor finish of the year.
It will. Again, another consistent driver, knows how to win championships, just stays there. Very, very patient driver. Unfortunate, he was victim of the circumstance there, just nowhere to go.
I mentioned this today, his 186th consecutive start.
Wow.
Nobody in the E-Series has that many in a row, and so he has quite a record going, kind of the Iron Man in the series, but again, he's retiring at the end of this year, and he's going to give it a go now. I don't see any smoke coming off of the tires, so it looks like there's no tire rub, but way behind now is Mike Olson. And there's Joey Logano.
Joey, Dan Partis, Mike Hogwood in HDNet booth. You copy? Hey, Joey, Dan Partis in HDNet booth. You copy?
10-4, I got you.
Hey, buddy, look like you got a pretty good piece here. You've been patient. Just got to work your way through some of this traffic. You think you got a good car there to put it up in victory lane?
Yeah, we got a real good car. Kind of stuck here in the back right now. The car's real superb compared to all the rest of the cars here. I can get back up front, around Harvick again. I think the both of us is going to be the race at the end. We just got to get up there, stay in one piece, and see if we can get a long green flag run here.
What it looks like. Do you make any adjustments to that car there during that pit stop, or you just take some tires?
Loosened it up a little bit for me. I was a little tight in the center. Guys had a great pit stop, and we're just trying to stay out of trouble and get back to the front.
All right, Joey, good luck to you, buddy.
16 years old. Pretty confident, isn't he?
Yep, kid's got a good head on his shoulders, very humble, and that's what it takes.
Humble? just told us he had the best car on the racetrack.
Yeah, but he didn't say, I'm going to win this race. That's you learn that the hard way.
Yeah, kidding. I said that's a lot of confidence when you say, okay, I've got the best car out here. I just have to be patient. I'll go win this race. And you're 16 years old.
Amazing. To be with a team like Joe Gibbs Racing, you know, I mean, it's just got to, I don't know how the kid sleeps at night.
You know, Matt Kovaluk, another disappointing day and a hard hit. More on that. Let's go down to Natalie.
Hey guys, I don't know about disappointing, but Matt is mad. He stormed in here and doesn't want to talk with anyone. You know, and talking to Matt earlier, he said that one of the toughest tracks for him was Dover. And the reason why? Well, the high speeds and high banking. Ironically enough, look what we've got here. And that high banking could have been the reason that he ended up in the wall.
And Natalie, it also could be that somebody helped him get up into the wall, which is sometimes what he gets mad about. I mean, maybe we didn't see it on that replay, but maybe somebody behind him might have helped him.
I can add to if you want.
Okay, go ahead, Natalie.
Mike, I would like to add to that. I mean, absolutely, with his reaction and the fact that he is just furious, I bet someone else had something to do with that.
Okay.
Well, we were kind of looking at the car there, see if we see any damage on the left rear, but, you know, obviously earlier in the corner is what it must have been a reference to. Somebody may have gotten into him, going down into turn 3, pushed him up into that second groove, and got him a little higher, but don't really see any wheel marks or anything on the left rear corner of Matt's car, so not sure what happened there.
Well, we're still under caution, still on the cleanup, and there's still work on the Mike Olson machine. And again, a tough day for him. Well, there must be more tire rub because they're pulling the tires off of there, and so it must have cut on him just a little bit. Mike Duncan remains our leader. Justin Lofton, still haven't talked a lot about him, in second place, and in third, Eric Richardson, just 21 years old. There's Duncan. Mike Duncan, the veteran, 45 years old, out of Bakersfield, California. We heard his spotter a few moments ago, Bill Sedgwick. And Dan, why don't we try to get a word now with Mike Duncan?
Mike, Dan Partis, Mike Hogwood in the HDNet booth. You copy?
Go ahead.
Hey, buddy, look like you're in the catbird seat there. You got to like what you see out that front of that windshield. How's that car?
Really good. We got a game plan though to come in here, probably the next caution. We're going to take some rights. It's too bad. I thought we'd have longer green flag runs right here at the end, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's sure fun right now leading this thing.
Yeah, that's a tough break. Unfortunate you got it out front there, but you got the horse to ride it back up to the front, so good luck to you.
So that's Mike Duncan, and I thought that might have been the case, that he has not taken his 4 tires, and so he has to take right sides and will have to come in, and that's going to put him back in the field. And I think that's also going to be the case for Justin Lofton, those two who are leading the race, and that's going to be a break for Harvick and Logano as they try to make their way back up through the field. The field is on the backstretch right now, getting ready to head into turn 3. You see the light is not flashing on that pace car, and that is good news for us, as that means we're going to have green flag racing next time by the start-finish line.
Yeah, not sure if Duncan thought it was going to stay yellow because he was talking about coming down pit road, but a little late for that.
Have to make it the next caution. Green is out.
Outside, set your quarter. Outside. Clear all around. Clear. Go get him. Good job. Clear by 2.
There's Bill Sedgwick said, go get him. I'll tell you what, one thing that Mike Duncan can do now, though, is pick up some points for our HDNet Performance Award. While he may have to make another stop and it may put him back in the pack, these laps are all counting for him towards that HDNet Performance Award that we're giving at the end of our televised races of the West Series season, which will be on July 4th at Irwindale in California.
What's got to happen now? 75 laps to go. Some of these guys are going to get a little bit anxious. You know, the guys that have taken their tires and taken fuel, so they still got to use their head. We're within that 75 lap window, but you know, if they're back towards the back, they're going to be charging hard, so we got to use our head here in these last 75 laps. And that the spotter plays a big part of that. You heard Bill Sedgwick talking to Duncan. Plays a big part. They have a lot to do with what happens on that racetrack.
You see in that window in the upper left of your screen, Kevin Harvick. He's making a pass right here for 4th place. He is flying up through the field, getting past Eric Richardson for 4th place in that 20 car.
Good run for Eric Richardson, another Bill McAnally race. See Brian Eichler right behind him running 5th and 6th, so 2 Bill McAnally cars running nose to tail.
And Joey Logano having a much tougher time getting up through the field. He is just in 14th spot. But then Kevin Harvick has a lot more practice at this.
Yep, we talked about it. Joey just getting marred in traffic there a little bit. But again, patience, patience, patience. You've got to be patient because he's got a good race car. He can work his way back up to the front.
And he could go the rest of the way without having to stop. So we've heard his crew chief tell him to take care of his tires. 3 wide, that's Andrew Myers in the middle. Mayhew up top, Logano down low.
Logano getting the run off of turn 2, 3 wide off of 2. He raced him all the way back down the stretch, back through 3 and 4. So he says, hey, it's time to go.
Somebody had to give at that corner, and it was Myers. Logano, wow. Logano now in 12th spot. He picked up a couple. Spin, that's Darrell Haar going up. Can he stay out of the wall? He does.
Oh, 71 car, Haar just gets by.
And the 37, we haven't talked about her all day long. That's Michelle Terriot, who was spun around there. And the caution is out again. 37 is Michelle. 71 is Darrell Haar.
Looks like Michelle may have not known Haar was down on the bottom. Haar just slid up the racetrack a little bit. Turned them both around, but looks like they both made it out of there without too much damage.
Good job by the 57 car, as you saw there, of John Freeman, of getting his car slowed down enough to not run into Darrell Haar. Haar out of St. Albert, Alberta. His dad, of course, Carl Haar, a great racer. Darrell, former NASCAR champion, which is the champion in stock car racing in Canada.
These guys have a long way to go week in and week out. They pull, their shop is in Canada. Man, when they pull to the West Coast, it takes them days to get to where they're going to race. Unbelievable.
Darrell, just 24 years old and in the computer business. And you can see they have a computer company as their sponsor.
8-time champion in IKF. Again, runs a lot of NASCAR events. Carl Haar, the crew chief on that car, his dad.
Don't see a lot of debris on the racetrack. Hope this caution might be a quick one.
Looks like it.
Mike Olson back in again. It is going to be a long rest of the afternoon for him. They got that crowbar back out, still trying to pry that sheet metal off of the tire. Must still have a little bit of tire rub, and they're checking that tire. And do you see the NASCAR official standing there? For them to change tires now, it has to be a NASCAR-approved change because they've already used their allotment. Now they've got 2 officials there observing the car, and those 2 officials have to approve any tire change that Olsen team is going to make. Here comes Mike Duncan.
Yep.
Your leader is down on pit road, and this is going to put him way back in the pack. As you heard Mike Duncan say, he had disappointment in his voice because he knew he was going to lose the lead.
Yep, unfortunately, he talked about it. He had to come in, get his tires, get some fuel to make it to the end.
Ryan Foster is also in, young rookie.
92 car, Mark Davis, Joe Gibbs Racing Automobile, also on pit row.
Well, coming in now is really going to help Joey Logano and Kevin Harvick. And Justin Lofton is going to be our leader for the first time today. Bright young driver, just 21 years old. Last year was his first full series in the West Series. This guy's raced everything, Justin Lofton. I mean, hill climb, off-road, stock cars, you name it.
24-hour cars down in Daytona, ran the 24 hours. Like you say, Pikes Peak.
You know, one thing that's really helped Justin Lofton this year in that 66 car is Rob Dixon, who was one of the veteran crew chiefs in the West Series and very good at his craft and also a good coach for this Justin Lofton. And they've made a good team this year. They had a great run at Altamont, finished 7th. And then on Friday night, Lofton had another good run. He finished 8th in that race in Elko, Minnesota.
Oh, you're exactly right. And Rob Dixon has been a big help to that team. Also helped Justin himself to help coach him and send him in the right direction, and that's big.
All right, looking forward to more MLS soccer on HDNet Saturday, May 26th. Brian Ching, Wayne De Rosario, and the Houston Dynamo go face-to-face with Christian Gomez, Jaime Moreno, and the DC United. You can see it at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. The MLS on HDNet. Looking forward to the Dynamo and DC United. It's going to be a great soccer match. Under caution here, and you see just a gorgeous, bright, sunny day here in Iowa. We're just north of Des Moines in the town of Newton, Iowa. There's a little airport that's right next door where.
Very convenient.
Yeah, when Dan flies his jet in here, and you didn't even offer me a ride.
Yeah, my little toy jet that they give me on Delta is the only jet I'll ever have. Spent all my money on racing, but it was worth it.
Lofton will be the leader, and guess who's in second place right now? Would be Kevin Harvick.
He's there. Again, he was fortunate, picked through traffic, got it back up towards the front. You know, within 65 plus laps here left to go, he's going to stay up front, I think.
Yeah, you know, and I still think Joey Logano, if he's careful, has a chance to make it up to the front. There's Logano, who is now in 10th place. He was as far back as 22nd. But Logano's still got to be careful. Right ahead of him is going to be Jeff Anton and Scott Lynch. Jesus Hernandez also in the top 10. So he's going to have to be careful racing these guys. He's got a faster race car.
Yep, he does. And again, he's just got to be patient, use his head. Spotter, I can't express enough how big the difference the spotter makes for these drivers. They calm their drivers down. You know, they pick them through traffic. They keep them cool. Very, very important.
You've actually done that role before, haven't you? You've spotted for guys.
I have, and it's a tough job. I'd much rather drive than spot, that's for sure.
That's what you do in the booth. Keep me calmed down and
under
control and
not in this world.
Focused. Yeah, the light has gone off the pace car. Lofton and Harvick will just start side by side. I got odds who's going to get the restart on this one.
Well, Kevin likes that outside, and again, he's able to get the big run off the corner, so it's really not a downfall on a track like Iowa to be on the outside groove. Again, we got so much bite on this racetrack. Good grip. Good runoff room off the corners.
Second row is going to be Brett Thompson, Brian Eichler, and then it'll be Eric Richardson, the youngster, and another young driver, Eric Harden, will be on row 3 in the 5 car. We've talked a lot about Kevin Harvick. Mike Harvick is the crew chief on the 5 car. That's Kevin Harvick's dad.
Yes, it is.
Who has been around the West Series for a long time and got Kevin started in racing. Green flag is back out. Justin Lofton gets a pretty good start.
He is trying to get all he can get.
But that is Kevin Harvick on the outside. He's got the fastest car on the racetrack. Boy, he just blew by Justin Lofton.
He was able just to get on that gas through 2-3 car lengths earlier than Justin Lofton. Just rocket off the corner. Tremendous grip on that 33 car. It's just glued to the racetrack here today.
So now the only story is, can Joey Logano make his way through and get up there? As he seems to have the only car that has been able to challenge Kevin Harvick here today. Lofton in second, Brian Eichler in third now in the 16.
See Logano down on the bottom of the racetrack trying to thread the needle. Behind Andrew Myers there, 14 car.
There's Logano trying to knock off another position. He got by Scott Lynch. And now that is Eric Harden he's going to get by. Harden had dropped back a bit. That's the battle for 8th place. Now Anton in 7th place. So he picks off another one.
He's got to use his head and be smooth, and he's doing exactly that.
Marching up through the field. There's Andrew Myers.
Good run off the corner.
Well, I think he's showing some good patience right here, Joey Logano.
Well, he is, and again in the past, you know, he had a tough night at it at Elko Speedway, and does not want that to carry on today. So he knows he's got a second place car, 60 laps to go at this point. Plenty of time to work your way back up through the pack.
That's Jesus Hernandez in the 4 car, the young driver out of Fresno, California.
Again racing.
In the Drive for Diversity program. Oh, Logano almost touched Hernandez. Able to clear him. Brett Thompson. There's the 20 of Eric Richardson. He is knocking them off one by one. This is the battle for third place.
He's coming. Logano's got it going. He's able to find some holes, get that motor wound up. So important here at Iowa Speedway to keep that momentum and keep it wound up on that outside groove. Once you get it wound up, then you can keep them times down there.
Logano now in third position, and what Joey Logano is going to need before the end of this race to catch up to Kevin Harvick is going to be a caution flag.
He's going to need a caution at this point to catch Kevin. We know that for sure, but again, he's got to get out open air, get some downforce on that car, getting good clean air, and that's exactly what he's done. It'll help that car turn through the corners, and he can slowly work on taking off Kevin Harvick.
He's fourth. Brian Eichler, Justin Lofton are ahead of him. And Lofton's going to be careful now trying to take on these two. Kevin Harvick continues to lead. Let's go down to Natalie.
Guys, you're talking about people trying to pick off Kevin Harvick. Well, get this. He's not even using a full motor. Basically, there's a short somewhere, and every time he goes down the straightaways, the motor heats up, it shorts out. He's not even up to full power. If he was, this would be a completely different race. Well, that combination, the fact he is Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, that is an added factor there, but with his motor skipping a little bit, it's going to be interesting to see now what would happen if they do get a caution and Logano's able to catch up to him and starting alongside him.
Yep, exactly. Possibly a little ignition problem on that car or something, just maybe making it flutter a little bit, but what he's probably able to do is just keep the gas pedal down a little bit longer in the corner and just drive it in that much deeper. Look at the soft wall construction on the racetrack here. We talked about with Rusty, just a great innovation. Cars run right up against the wall there on corner exit.
And you know one thing Rusty did about this racetrack is he made this a driver's track. As you see Logano battling for second place. Driver has a lot of work to do on this racetrack to get around it.
Well, he does. And what he's done was if you slip and you get up in that high groove, that second, third groove, by it being progressive banking, increasing the degrees of banking on the track, it helps hold the race car. Like when you see Tobaluk lose it a little bit, he caught the tail of that race car and really kept it out of the wall.
The lap car, the 52 there is Jamie Haynes. Joey Logano has made his way now back up into second place. So the two that have dominated this race today, Kevin Harvick and Joey Logano, have made their way back up through the field. Been a very impressive run for the youngster. You expected Kevin Harvick to do this. But the 16-year-old Joey Logano showed a lot of patience working his way up.
Yes, he did. And look what he's done. He's able to reel Kevin Harvick in. They're both running about 23.90s, 23.80s, and that's pretty fast time. So, again, I'm not sure if Kevin's going out there just waiting for him.
Coming up on 50 laps to go here. Been quite a 24 hours for Kevin Harvick, and we'll repeat it again last night, Lowe's Motor Speedway, and the Nextel All-Star Challenge. He won $1 million by winning that race.
Wow.
He's had a great season, but I'm telling you, $1 million, and you still got up early and came to Iowa to race.
Jump in the plane, it's about a 3.5 hour plane ride, depending on what plane they take. I'm talking to Ron Hornaday. King Air takes about 3.5 hours to get here from Charlotte. Jump in a race car, race all day, fly 3.5 hours home. You gotta love this sport to do it.
Kevin Harvick, that race shop is in Kernersville, North Carolina. There's Jesus Hernandez, and blowing by him is Brett Thompson. That is the battle for 7th place, and it's a good one. Jeff Anton in the 30 car behind him. Jesus Hernandez has been impressive in races this year. We saw him with a strong run in Phoenix, was 11th in Greenville, and on Friday night, Jesus finished 7th, right where he's running right now.
Yep, doing an outstanding job. Rick Berghoff, crew chief on that car. He's been around NASCAR Busch Series for some time, and he's really excited about Jesus. He says he's got what it takes. He's very talented, and he listens.
And they've got a real aggressive program for him this year. He's not running any series full time. He's going to run some in the East, some in the West. He's going to run some late models at Hickory. He's got a couple of ARCA races scheduled, and he also has some truck series races that he's going to run. Back up front, Logano closing the gap now on Kevin Harvick. And as they go through the corner, Logano has essentially caught up with him. Maybe that motor problem starting to show itself a little bit now on the part of Kevin Harvick.
Well, if in fact he does have a motor problem there, you're exactly right, Mike. I mean, he has definitely slowed down in the past few laps, past 10 laps. He's just kind of lost a couple tenths, so not sure what exactly is going wrong there with Kevin Harvick.
Back there 3 wide again. That's Jesus Hernandez. Brett Thompson is the one who gave in a little bit, the 81 car. And Jesus continues to be very, very strong and very aggressive on the racetrack.
Yes, he does. Again, they were 3 wide racing there. Brett Thompson there, 3rd car in line. Said, hey, I think I'll pull out of the gas pedal and keep getting real big. That was a smart choice.
Like so many drivers in the West Series, Jesus came to this level of racing after racing late models at Irwindale. Irwindale will close out our West Series racing on HDNet. That'll be on July the 4th. A racetrack, great racetrack in the Los Angeles area. Back up front, Kevin Harvick trying to hold off the kid, Joey Logano.
Logano kind of eyeing him up. Smart thing to do, saying, where can I get his weak point? A driver at this point is looking for his weak point. He's saying, where's Kevin bad at? And I'm good, because that's where I'm going to pass him.
Last lap, Logano was faster than Harvick on the racetrack. And he's caught him there, and again going another lap down to 52 of Jamie Hayes.
Again, he catches and drives down in the corner, but Kevin's able to pick the gas up off corner exit and get a good run on him. Runs up the high side, keeps that momentum going.
But Logano has caught him, and now it's going to be a showdown for the final 43 laps.
Joey looks to the bottom, just can't quite get the run Kevin gets coming off the corner. Picks up some of that draft, sucks up on him. It's one thing to it's another thing to get around it.
But if you're faster, you get that fender underneath.
These guys are so evenly matched. They're within a tenth of a second of each other. He's got to just hit this line perfectly right, make an advantage out of Kevin Harvick's disadvantage.
Justin Lofton and Brian Eichler have shown well. They've remained 3rd and 4th. Scott Lynch has made his way into the top 5. But this, the battle for the top spot on the racetrack. These 2 cars have been the class of the field all day today.
Oh, they have. It looks like pretty much untouchable. The only 2 cars that's been able to run about 2 tenths quicker than most of the field at times. They're both really glued to the racetrack. 92 car, Mark Davis on pit road.
He's been in a lot. He's had some tough times today. That's the teammate of Joey Logano.
See Logano running that bottom line like we talked, just not able to get that run off corner exit like that. At this point, with 40 laps to go, Mike, he's eyeing him up. He's saying, where's his weak point? When I do catch him, if we stay green till the end of this race, where can I pass him?
Well, they've got a bunch of lap traffic about 15 car lengths ahead of them. And I would think that Logano's going to be content to stay right there till they get clear of that lap traffic. There you see it. It's just to the left, right up ahead of them. More on Joey Logano. Let's go down to Natalie.
Hey, Mike, you were talking about Joey staying right there. That's exactly their plan. I just got done talking to the crew, and taking it easy is Joey's motto. Basically focusing on saving his tires, but staying right up there with Kevin Harvick. And then when it comes down to the end, full force.
Well, he's getting a little racy right now, Natalie, up alongside of him, but that lap traffic is going to come into play in just a moment. Something's going to have to give. You see the lap traffic up ahead of them, and maybe Harvick's going to tuck in behind him now.
Looks like it. One of them lines has got to move out of the way for either Kevin or Joey to get by here, so it'll get interesting.
But I thought for a moment it was going to be that outside line.
Looks like the outside line's going to be the place to go. Kevin picking through the outside line.
Yep.
Rolls right out on the back bumper. Jason Bowles.
Kevin knew what was going to happen, and this is the most dangerous part for the leaders, is going past the slower cars and getting through the lap traffic.
Right in the middle. Says, hey, I'll take the middle groove.
So does Joey Logano. Good move there by Jason Bowles in the 22 just to let those guys go. And now here comes Joey Logano. They're free of the lap traffic, and Logano says, okay, I'm going after you.
Yep, he got a good run down the backstretch, but he thought a little better of that driving down into turn 3, which was a smart move. 35 to go. Now is really not the time to check out. They need to wait to get in that 10-lap range, and then it's time to really go hard. What Joey's got to be careful of is not to overdrive these tires. Don't use these tires up. Don't heat them up too much. Crew chief was talking to him under the caution. They took tires, and he said, hey, right rear tire, a little used up, not quite blistered, so take care of them tires.
And again, lap traffic is going to force Logano to tuck back in. Or is he?
3 wide. Had to push Kevin up the racetrack.
And it's going to push him into the lead.
Wow.
How about that? 3 wide. There was Jamie Hayes down low, and now there is the 51 car that got him in back of Jonathan Smith.
Logano's seen a hole,
the leader.
and he went for it.
What a great move by the young kid.
It was. Good, smart, safe move. Kevin Harvick said, I know a little bit better than this. I'll just let him go, and that's exactly what he did.
Pierre Bort, who's old enough to be Joe Logano's grandfather. Bort in his 50s. Logano's 16. He just said, hey, Pierre, see you later. Let's take a look at this again. Watch him thread the needle right here.
Had to run up through the middle of the racetrack to get around the 52 car, Jamie Hayes, and just forced Kevin Harvick up the racetrack. Kevin lifted a little bit. I don't want to put my car in all this early. Smart move.
So now Joey Logano out in front, and can he hang on? That is the story. Logano's put a little distance on himself in second place. There's the distance back to Kevin Harvick.
On the clock, they're 24 flat, both these cars, so they're running about the same speed. We talked about that earlier. So if in fact Kevin Harvick does not have anything else left, it's possible that Joey Logano starts toting the mail. He could get away from him.
Meanwhile, back the field just a bit, there are some big battles. This is the battle with Andrew Myers and Eric Harden. Here's the battle for fourth place. Brian Eichler is there in the 16 car. 29 of Scott Lynch. That's a battle with Eichler right there, and Scott Lynch has the position, so Lynch is in fourth position.
Lynch has just worked his way up towards the front and just stayed real consistent. That's what he needs to do.
Scott Lynch has had a great race today, and you saw that red car. There is no sponsor on the side of it. Look at the yellow stripe on the bumper. A 16-year-old not driving like a rookie.
No.
You know, I watched this. It doesn't seem like all that long ago, and it wasn't. He was running in the summer shootout series at Lowe's Motor Speedway in Bandoleros, which 10-year-olds drive. And it was only 6 years ago he was 10 years old. So.
Unbelievable how he comes so far in such a small amount of time. Mark Martin had his eye on Joey Logano, tried to get Jack Roush to pull him over in his stables. And Jack had his stable full at the time, so was not able to do anything with Logano. So Joe Gibbs caught wind of it. He says, I'll have some of that. Signed Joey Logano.
He's really put some distance with himself and Kevin Harvick. There's Logano. Let's see. Look how far you have to go back. Fine. There's Kevin Harvick. Quite a gap now between those two as Logano has pulled away. And if Harvick now is to have any chance to win, there's going to have to be a caution flag here in the final 25 laps. We have had a long green flag run here. There's more three-wide racing.
Wow.
Well, another testament to this great race.
Contact
almost, and that doesn't work.
Seven car Pierre Bort. Wow, gets turned around.
Also in it, Michelle Theriot in the 37 car. And Pierre Bort out of Ottawa, Ontario. A guy who drives basically for the fun of it. Took 16 years away from this sport. And Michelle
Theriot, unfortunate for her, having a good run.
She had a top 10 run on Friday night, but not tonight.
Drive down in the corner and looks like the 7 car, Pierre Bourque.
You know, the 57 of John Freeman escaped with just a little bit of damage, but he was the instigator. Look at the 57 down low on the inside, and he keeps right on going. Everybody else goes up in the wall.
Not sure. I think Pierre thought he had Freeman cleared the 57 car, but not quite enough real estate there. Turned himself around.
But okay, we're under 25 laps to go. Bourque stopped on the racetrack, which means we're probably going to have a, oh my goodness, Scott Lynch. We did not see that. He is in it as well. And what a tough break for Lynch, who'd run in the top 5 all day.
Very disappointing. Again, such a good car for Scott Lynch. Good run.
Let's listen to this happen.
That's what it sounds like here. Metal crunch. Top side of your screen.
There's Lynch.
Lynch.
He just did get caught up in that.
On the outside there, just another victim of the circumstance. Nowhere to go for Scott Lynch. Tough break.
Justin Lofton just did escape it. There's Lynch climbing out of his race car. Meanwhile, did you see all the fluid that Pierre Bourque's car was putting on the racetrack?
Yep.
This is going to be a lengthy caution here, which means we're going to have a short shootout between Joey Logano and Kevin Harvick. We'll take a break here while they try to clean up some of this fluid on the racetrack. Scott Lynch okay, but the caution is out here at Iowa Speedway. Welcome back to the Featherlite Coaches 200 at the Iowa Speedway. We've been under a red flag condition on this beautiful afternoon, but good news is the engines have fired, the cars are rolling, and Dan Pardis, we've got 21 laps remaining. This is going to be a fantastic finish, I think.
Well, it is. And listening to the spotters and the drivers, now's the time to do it. If you got anything left, it's time to pull out anything you got, any bag of tricks you got, and head to the front. Because with 20 laps left, hopefully we won't see no more cautions here today at Iowa, and now's the time to check out.
You know, and Natalie talked about the restart being so important, but Joey Logano really appears to have a stout race car, and I mean, he was pulling away from Kevin Harvick there.
Well, he does, and it was questioned whether Kevin was just kind of playing with him a little bit, but I tell you, these last 20 laps, Kevin Harvick has not had anything for Joey Logano, so it's going to be tough here these last few laps for Kevin Harvick. If he's got anything, he needs to do it now.
Well, we'll see as they ride through some of that stay dry, and the jet blower continues to travel around the upper part of this racetrack. So I think we're going to have a couple of laps of caution here, but these laps count, and there are now 20 laps to go here in the Featherlite Coaches 200. Let's take a look at this crash one more time and watch the 57 car of John Freeman down low.
Yep, down on the bottom, Freeman looks like he's right on the yellow line. 7 car of Pierre Bourque really had nowhere to go. He looks like he may have turned across him. Maybe a spotter didn't clear him. It's hard to say. And then, unfortunately, Michel Thériault gets victim of the circumstance there also.
Well, everybody was okay. That's the good news. But Bourque, Thériault, Scott Lynch, all done for the day. We'll be back with you here on HDNet for Grand National West Series racing Saturday, June 2nd at the Colorado Speedway in Erie, Colorado. Hope you'll join us at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. Erie, Colorado, not too far from Denver. And Colorado National Speedway 150. Should be a good night of racing. And
Wild, Wild West.
And always
nothing like it.
Gorgeous pictures on HDNet. It'll be fun to watch. And again, they'll bunch up 2 by 2. The lap cars are in the back. It'll only be the lead lap cars up front, which means that it will be Joey Logano and Kevin Harvick side by side. Right behind them will be Brian Eichler and Justin Lofton. And I don't want to jinx Brian Eichler, who has not had a good finish all year, but he has a real shot today at a top 5 finish.
Oh, he does, and that would be like a victory for Bill McAnally Racing with Brian Eichler because of the struggle that they've had. You know, they've been going back and forth and up and down. And again, Bill McAnally Racing also got the 20 car, you know, of Eric Richardson's and another car of his. They've been struggling too all year, so two cars in the top 5 would be a big victory for Bill McAnally Racing.
I want to mention one car from the West Series not in this race today. Tim Wood, dual motor in practice today. wasn't able to be a part of the field. He was really disappointed because he's been up in the top 5 in points all year. 1 lap to go. Also, as Rusty Wallace told us, his young driver, Chase Austin, wrecked in qualifying. Not able to participate in the race today. Jack Sellers, another veteran, wasn't able to give it a go. Was here. 51 cars tried to qualify for the 42 spots. And we have had a good competitive race, and we're looking forward to a great finish here. Okay, here comes the restart. It'll be Logano and Harvick. Light is out. Pace car's getting ready to pull down onto the pit lane. And here they come to the green flag. Wait a minute, the light, they blew it off. Light just came back on. Somebody in NASCAR must have seen something else on the racetrack because the light just came back on, and they're not giving the one to go. We're hearing from NASCAR now that the cars are not in the right starting position. So they want to make sure now with the laps winding down that everybody's where they're supposed to be.
Well, that means a lot, especially to a driver. If you got a guy that's, a lap down and he's 2 cars in front of you and he's backing you up, I mean, with 20 laps to go, they need to get him out of the way, and that's exactly what NASCAR has done. So they've chosen to throw the caution back out, get these cars lined up back in the proper position, and then go racing.
Well, I think now that they've got it sorted out that we'll get the 1 to go again this time around. And again, this is just building the drama and making it more and more of a shootout. I'll say one thing about this weekend. I think it's been a huge success getting the East and the West Series together for 2 races. Elko, Minnesota on Friday night, and here at the Iowa Speedway today.
Absolutely. And in this Speedway, Iowa itself, I think you'll see more and more races here in the future, possibly, with this series and other series moving into.
You could have a truck race, a bush race here, and
super racetrack.
With this kind of crowd coming out for a Grand National race, this series will be back here.
Yes, it will.
This is the first NASCAR race on this racetrack.
Yes,
about a year old.
ARCA Remax Series raced here last year. Made their debut here.
ASA,
one of the big races. ASA Series been here, but you're right, Mike. This is the first official NASCAR race at Iowa.
And again, it's been a good one. And now we'll see. Will it be Harvick? Will it be Logano? Will we have an incident like we had with Eichler and Logano on Friday night?
We hope not.
Indeed. That was disheartening for both of those drivers.
Yeah, it was that late in the game, but that's short track racing. Sometime that's going to happen.
All right, here we go. Let's try to get a green flag start this time. Pace car is indeed on the pit road, and we're ready to go.
Get it, bud.
That's a spotter for Joey Logano. And they're both hitting it. Harvick and Logano.
Outside.
Boy, and Kevin Harvick just got a jump.
Kevin's so good off of turn 2. He's able to get down in the corner, both turn 2 and turn 3 at times, stand on the gas pedal in the middle corner and rocket off the corner. That's where he gets that run.
Less than 24 hours ago, he had to hold off Jimmy Johnson to win $1 million. Now he's trying to hold off Joey Logano, but he can't do it. Into turn 1, Logano is side by side with him.
Logano trying his car. He drove down in the corner, just says, I want to see if this car's going to stick. I want to see if it do it without watching the nose. His nose did not wash up on the car, so he may have found a little bit more out of that 10 car.
Got a strong motor. And he has given no ground to the veteran. Kevin Harvick is up. Mike David is in. Also, Andrew Myers, caution is out again.
Been off the forward. Not what these 2 cars wanted to do. They were checking out.
So much for the drama. We're going to have to do it all over again as Andrew Myers in the 14 car out of Newport Beach, California, has spun. Mike David, points leader in the West Series, also was involved in it right there in the 2 car. David had been running in the 18th position.
Take a look at what happened here. A lot of cars just bunched up in there 3 wide.
Myers gave him a little help.
Myers gets in the back of David, just gets him turned around and just nowhere to go. Unfortunate. Looks like he was back in the gas. And what happens there sometimes is David may have gotten out of the gas. The car got a little bit loose and got out of the gas a little bit. Myers was already wide open coming off a corner exit. Just got in the back of him. Just takes a little bit of tap to make that happen.
Well, hopefully this will not be a long caution flag. We're going to have a dramatic restart again in just a moment. We'll be back to the Iowa Speedway. Now, as you can see, we've had a lot of action in this race today, but now with 10 laps to go, and it will be under 10 when we go green. Kevin Harvick has been posted now in the first position. Joey Logano second. Now, do you think that that is any advantage now to have Harvick restarting down low?
Well, Kevin seems to like the high side, so in the way he's been running really good up on that high end of the racetrack. Not sure if he'll like the bottom. Joey Logano appears that he can run high side or low side, so it's just gonna be time will tell.
Well, we've seen some great shots in the crowd here before, and we've just gotten word from the folks who run the Iowa Speedway that they officially had to call it a sellout here today. That's great news. Here's the top 5 as we wind down this race. Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, Justin Lofton, the youngster, has run well. And we talked about Brian Eichler trying to get a top 5 finish for the first time this year. And how about Jeff Anton, who does not have a top 10. He finished 18th at Greenville. He's in the E Series. That's the protege of Dale Quarterly. And 14th at Elko, Minnesota.
Around 1 to go. The flagman tells him 1 to go. 9 laps. Spotters are talking to him. All right, guys. Time to make it happen. Tighten them belts. Got anything left?
And Dan, as you well know, this is when we've seen a lot of guys take chances, which means a lot of crazy things can happen.
Well, exactly. And you got a lot of young drivers in the series, like we talked about, rookies that, don't quite have the patience that they need. And they can see victory right in front of them. They'll take the chance. Hopefully they all use their head here in these last few laps and we can have a good finish.
Kevin Harvick scrubbing his tires, making sure they're clean. And Joey Logano doing the same thing. That pace car will be taking a hard left in just a moment. Then we'll try to decide that, the yellow's coming back out again. Obviously, they're having some problems getting these cars in the right position as they have just waved off the green once more. It's like this crowd gets on its feet, takes a deep breath, we get ready for the restart, and then, no. One more lap of caution.
Should have seen a few people in the stands there. That's exactly what they did.
It's like,
threw their hands up in the
my
air.
goodness.
What's going on here? Come on, NASCAR, let's go. But obviously, again, they did that for a good reason.
Well, here's how NASCAR gets these guys in the right position, is that the spotters have to monitor the NASCAR channel on the radio. They call out the lineup, then it's the spotter's responsibility to call to the car to get the driver to get into the right spot. So there's a lot of things that have to happen, and sometimes it doesn't happen as fast as they would hope.
Exactly. Getting word from NASCAR that possibly the 9 car, which is running in 9th place, Mike Duncan, is being black flagged, that he's not in the right position. So we'll just have to see what happens when they come around this time. But that's the word on the radio. 9 car, well, Mike Duncan is black
obviously flagged. NASCAR got as frustrated as we did with not being able to get these restarts going. Well, here we go. Green is back out.
Wow, look at the yellow car on the outside of Mike Davis. What a run. That was perfectly legal as long as you stay on the outside of the racetrack and pass cars on the outside. Pit pass on the outside. Mike Davis came from 9th place all the way up to 3rd.
But it's Joey Logano who's taking the lead. Mike David's car looked like it broke.
Yep, something happened to him down on the bottom of the racetrack, and Joey Logano takes the benefit of that.
I'm telling you, Joey Logano has the fastest car out here. He just showed it. And this 16-year-old, if he keeps his nose clean, could win his 3rd race of the year. He won in Phoenix. Really was the class of the field that night. He won the first East Series race a couple of weeks ago at Greenville Pickett Speedway. Had a fast car on Friday night, but finished 19th. Could he make it 3 for 4 on the season at 16?
He's not looking in the mirror now. I'm telling you, spotters telling him, hit your lines, hit your lines. Do not look back. So important sometimes for a driver not to look in the mirror because we can get in big trouble by doing that. So again, he's got to hit his lines. He's got to keep focused on what's in front of him. That's exactly what he's doing as he works around the outside of the car. Mike David, possibly David being called down pit road for jumping on the restart. Harvick got his sights set on him, but on the clock they're both running 23.90s, exact same time. So it's going to be tough for Kevin Harvick right now to catch Joey Logano.
I'll bet you one day in the not too distant future, we'll see Joey Logano and Kevin Harvick battling for a win in the next Go Cup Series.
I would not disagree with that fact. And I'll tell you again, we talked about it earlier, what the feeling Joey Logano must have to come here if he can beat Kevin Harvick at his own game, how big that would be in his mind, the confidence it will build in that team.
Well, he's got a great car, but let's give him credit. He has driven a patient and a smart race here today.
Well, you're exactly right, and that's what's so important. Spotter worked him through the day. When he got back there in 21st position, he worked through the pack, took care of his race car, took care of his tires, and this is why it's paid off right here.
White flag is out. Final lap. This is Joey Logano's spotter.
Yes, it is.
Bring it home, bud.
That's just what Joey Logano's trying to do. Out of the final corner, Joey Logano, 16 years old, has won the Featherlite Coaches 200. Kevin Harvick finishes second, and he has to be impressed with this young driver.
Oh, he's got to. Tremendous, stellar performance.
You guys are awesome. No burning out, though, buddy. No burning out. Woo! Woo! Good job, guys. Can I burn out yet? No, you said.
Finally, a little excitement out of that 16-year-old who's been so laid back here all weekend, and deserved so. He just beat a guy who last night won $1 million, a guy who won the Daytona 500. He's only 16, and folks, get ready. Here comes a burnout. There's his crew. They're running out onto the grass. They're so excited.
Hats off to Joey Logano, again, being patient. Patience paid off here today at Iowa, especially at a track like this, high speed. He did everything right.
And here they go.
This is the part the motor builders really don't like.
But you know what? The drivers love it. He wants the checkered flag. Maybe the heck with the burnout. He wants the checkered flag, and you don't think this is going to go in a prominent place in his house. And there's Kevin Harvick.
Harvick pulling in.
Headed to the garage.
Again, hats off to Kevin Harvick for coming here today, being part of this event. Everybody at Iowa Speedway and NASCAR, appreciate that.
Hats off to the NASCAR official who climbed down the fence to give him the flag so he could carry it around this racetrack in front of this huge crowd here today. And as so many drivers do, taking that reverse lap. Waving the flag. There's nobody really on the well. There's a few RVs over there on the other side.
He's giving the fans their money.
He's giving them all a shot at the flag, and he is one excited young driver, Joey Logano, who is a native of Middletown, Connecticut. Now makes his home in North Carolina and has such a bright racing future ahead of him.
Doing the right things. Again, it could be so easy to spin his tires on them restarts, lose that position, get the car sideways, but he did everything right here today.
And what a great reception he's getting right now from this huge crowd here. They're on their feet and cheering him. They know he just did something special, that he just beat one of racing's best.
Fans are on their feet. All 30,000 of them here today at Iowa.
He may take another couple of laps. So excited.
NASCAR.
No, I think he is anxious to get to victory lane and meet his crew.
Well, he was good on that motor, so that's big for the motor builders.
Oh, as good as that motor was today, I think he wants to save it. I think he wants to use that thing again. We'll see Joey Logano in mid-July when when we pick up the East Series with a race in Thompson, Connecticut.
Makes his way to victory lane.
Hearing Kevin Harvick on the PA system talking about how he didn't have all 8 cylinders going.
Well, he did a good job with 7 or 7.5, whatever he might have had. That's for sure.
Well, down in victory lane, there his crew is celebrating him, congratulating him for his run here today.
Crew members from the Joe Gibbs Racing stable.
The crowd's not going anywhere. They want to stay here and hear what Joey Logano has to say to them. And I'll tell you what, Kevin Harvick has given a lot of credit to Joey Logano, the 16-year-old, but he's not old enough to drink that stuff that's on top of the car, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. He'll have some good fresh
water.
He
can spray it around, but he just can't take a sip.
See the hat man giving him his hat. Put the right hats on.
Well, in a moment, Joey Logano is going to climb out of that race car. The crowd, the cheer you hear is for, there's Joey Logano getting out, but the cheer you heard a moment ago was for Kevin Harvick, who just saluted the crowd here.
Yep.
And there's Joey Logano climbing out. And
good job, buddy.
The Joe Gibbs developmental driver has taken another step in his development today, winning the Featherlite Coaches 200. This is his 3rd win in 4 tries in the Grand National Series.
What an exciting finish. How's it feel to know you just won and also you held off the Nextel Cup?
Yeah, that was definitely, thanks Kevin. That was an exciting race, that's for sure. Kevin was real strong in the beginning of the race. And what they got to him, I saved my stuff a little bit. And whew, it was great. I mean, we had a good car. And that last start was good. He gets into turn 1 real good. So,
and Joey, you know, one thing this is your 3rd victory out of 4 races. You're talking about the car being good, but also your patience level. Your crew was saying that your patience got you through this one.
Yeah, I mean, when we got in the back and every restart, I was in the wrong line, so it kind of stunk there, but we were able to get through the field and get up to Kevin, and was able to get by him on the last restart. His restarts were awesome, and finally got him the last time, so when they count.
Joey, when we talked with you at the beginning of the race, you said the key was to stay up front. There were a few times you had to fight your way through the pack. How were you able to do that?
Oh, it's just a great car, great team. I couldn't ask for anything more than this. I mean, we just drove through the field. Kevin did awesome. It was just fun to race against them. I mean, we ran hard, we ran clean. I mean, it was definitely one of the hardest races I ran.
Well, guys, you can tell this 16-year-old is on cloud 9. Back up to you.
Thank you a lot, Natalie. And by the way, we're not being attacked here. Those are fireworks. You're hearing going off in the background right there. I want to take a look at the unofficial results of this race. Joey Logano, the winner, and there's the results of some of those fireworks.
Beautiful day here at Iowa.
Yeah. Kevin Harvick finishes 2nd. 3rd is going to go to Jesus Hernandez.
Great
what a great
job
run he had. And Johnny Borneman, 4th. Now, we thought Mike Duncan was getting a black flag, but unofficially, he's posted 5th. That might change.
Exactly.
That might change. Justin Lofton, 6th. Matter of fact, I have a feeling it will. Brett Thompson, 7th. Jeff Anton, 8th. Eric Richardson comes home 9th. And Tim McCready, 10th. Let's go back down to Natalie.
Hey, guys, I'm with Kevin Harvick. And, Kevin, you sure have given us 2 exciting races back to back. Talk about how this one was different, and it had to be a little enjoyable.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to race. We had motor trouble from about 20 laps in, and the motor was on about 7 cylinders. And I tell you what, it's a huge credit to this racetrack because you can move the car around and overdrive the car getting in the corner, and I could still race with Joey there and you know, made a heck of a show out of it. So it was a lot of fun. I mean, hate that we had a little bit of trouble, but all in all, it was a great weekend.
Talking about a great weekend, but also there's a great 16-year-old that did win. What do you think of Joey Logano's racing?
He did a great job. I mean, he didn't make any mistakes. You know, drove the car smart. Obviously, they've got really fast cars, and he took care of it and kept all the fenders on of it, even when we got back there in traffic. So I knew when we got back in traffic, I needed to get through it as fast as I could because we were a little bit handicapped there. But I just want to thank Featherlite and everybody at Iowa Speedway for everything that they've done, and go home and get some rest now.
Well, Kevin, we want to thank you for an exciting race weekend. It was a pleasure to watch you out here, and what a great race it was today.
Thank you.
All right, Natalie, thanks a lot. Thanks to Kevin Harvick. And Yeah, he can afford to get a little rest now after winning $1 million last night. And
big weekend for him.
Coming here, and, I think it's a credit to Kevin Harvick's ability. Dan, you've driven with a sick motor before. You know how tough that is. That had to have been tough for him, and it had to have been a lot of driver skill to keep up with a sick motor out there.
Well, it
today.
did, Mike. And what he's talking about is he probably lost a plug wire or he lost a cylinder. So what he was having to do was actually drive the car in the corner 2 or 3 car lengths deeper, keep his foot on the accelerator down a lot further than he normally would have. And like he said, it's a tribute to this racetrack because it's such a momentum racetrack. He was able to drive it in 2 or 3 car lengths deeper, pick the throttle up 2 or 3 car lengths earlier, and that carried him through that corner to keep that straightaway speed going.
Partner, had a good time with you again today, and I thought we saw a really good race here.
I did. I enjoyed it. Iowa Speedway, beautiful Speedway, the Grand National Series on HDNet. What a show.
Awesome. Our next race at the Colorado National Speedway. It's the Colorado National Speedway 150 in Erie, Colorado. You'll see it Saturday, June 2nd, 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Pacific Time. You've been watching NASCAR Grand National Division Racing. The director of today's race has been Hank Lena. Our producer, David Butler. HDNet Engineering provided by Jeff Garman and Ed Martinez. HDNet Engineering support provided by Todd Casey and Paul Burnham. Our production manager, Mike Hurd, and the executive producer of HDNet Sports is Daryl Ewald. And a very special thanks to all our crew members for providing the beautiful HD pictures all day long, our radio communications for Performance Radios and Communication. Once again, the winner from the Iowa Speedway, 16-year-old Joey Logano, his 3rd race of the year and his 3rd win of the season. For my broadcast partners, Dan Partis and Natalie Taylor, I'm Mike Hawkwood. Thanks for joining us. Have a great afternoon. So long from the Iowa Speedway.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.